All right, now that we open up our regular meeting of the Dearborn Heights City Council is called to order at 6:02 PM. Madam Clerk, may you please take roll call?
Yes, Hassan Ahmad.
Present.
Moby Dun.
Here.
Nancy Breyer.
Here.
Robert Constant.
Here.
Denise Malinowski Maxwell.
Here.
Hassan Saab.
Present.
And Tom Wenzel is absent. Mr. Chair.
Tom is actually on Zoom, I believe.
But he can't participate as a council member.
Well, I still want him unmuted.
Yeah.
Is he unmuted?
No.
Can we unmute him?
I will do that. I'll find it as soon as
Yeah.
you have a.
Look, I mean, what's the worst case that's gonna happen? He can't vote, that's fine. I'd still like to hear his opinion on
Yes,
anything before it comes
yes,
before us.
But he can't come to voting.
That's okay. I mean, if he tells me, Mo, vote for me this way, I'm sure the residents at home and here can hear him.
I think he is unmuted now.
Thank you. Councilman Wenzel, can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you. He's sitting at a big boys in Tennessee, so he's enjoying the sun just like we are. Councilman Wenzel, lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much for that. Next up, we have a presentation from the Crestwood District Superintendent, Dr. Yusuf Musallam, on the Warren Valley Golf Course parking lot. And I just want to make very clear for anybody that's spreading any type of misinformation, the Crestwood School District is not taking the golf course. Right? Because I already got phone calls today. What's this I'm hearing? Nobody's getting a kickback. Nobody from the city is touching it. I got nothing to do with what's happening with the construction. The good news is I have a great working relationship with the Issa brothers from the Warren Valley Golf Course and an amazing working relationship with the Crestwood School District. So guess what I did? I brought them both together. That's all we were able to do. We were able to unite. So the good news is Dr. Musallam is up here. His contractors, his bond, and that was recently passed will be the ones that make these decisions. But he's going to give us a quick presentation tonight. Again, nobody from the Dearborn Heights City Council or the clerk or anybody has anything to do with this. Thank you. You want to dim one of the lights? Are we connecting it up there?
Yes.
Okay.
Should I push the button?
Yeah, we have our IT director here in case he needs.
Just give it a second, Doc.
Yeah.
Until lights up.
Got it.
Yeah, that's fine. No, it's gonna be from up. It's gonna be from over there. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
That's good.
I did. Yes.
Is it green now or red?
It's still blinking white.
I bet you guys don't have IT like us.
No.
Mr. Green's been in the district for many years, though.
Are you remoted in? Is that where you?
Yeah. Do you want me to?
No, I just want to double check.
Mr. Pepe's got the nice
There.
kiwi green on today, huh? Rose, you got that kiwi green on today? I like that. Go green, go white.
And the purple paint.
We have another Baydun joining us today.
Yes, yes. Not my father's favorite, but here he is. Definitely my mother's favorite.
Sorry, Councilman Chair. He's my favorite.
I'll let you know how that vote goes today.
I'm loading the software.
Sue, what's going on, Sue?
Come on.
Sorry for the delay on this.
No, it's okay. IT's on it.
I guess Sue's favorite too.
Angela, go hang out with him.
Got a tan.
That's preparing it.
There you go.
It's like the controls down there.
Okay.
Maybe you can send it over to one of our email addresses and Councilman Ahmad will put it up.
The what?
The presentation. I know your computer connects to it quickly.
Is it his computer? that a new piece? Because I used to use a silver one before.
It's it.
Whatever will work.
We are good.
Councilwoman Breyer, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Come on. In order to share grant permission to screen recording, screen purposes. That's what we're trying to do. Grant permissions. You gave it the permissions.
Time's up.
You want us to move on to the next item until this is ready?
Yeah, give me one. We're
Yeah,
trying to
I'll
grant
come
the
back until it's ready.
permissions.
You can keep the lights dimmed.
Okay.
Okay. Next up, we have agenda approval.
Council Chair,
Councilman, come on.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the amended agenda for the regular meeting of April 22nd, 2025 as submitted.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilwoman Breyer. Any discussion?
Yes. Or actually, no.
Go ahead.
Minutes. No. No, it's for
None?
the minutes, not for the,
Okay, any other discussion?
so this is,
Amended.
Yeah, we can table it when we get to it.
I want to remove something.
Now we're gonna regrant
Hearing none,
permissions.
all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up, we have the minutes of the special meeting of April 8th, 2025.
Council Chair,
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the minutes for the special meeting of April 8th, 2025 as outlined in 4-8.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up is minutes of nothing. Hang on. All right,
April 8th.
presentation begin. Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving back to the presentation by Dr. Musalam regarding the Warren Valley Golf Course parking lot. But before we also do that, I'd also like to take another moment of silence for Councilman Ahmad's uncle who recently passed away this past weekend. So I'd like to do a quick prayer and a moment of silence. Thank you guys for that.
Thank you, Council
Sorry
Chair.
for
Thank
your
you,
loss,
everyone.
Councilman.
Thank you.
May God rest his soul.
Thank you. Dr. Musalam, please present.
Thank you. So first,
Back into your head. So-
thank you, Councilman Chair Beydoun, Council Chair Pro Tem Ahmed, and respected members of City Council as well as City Government. So just to preface before I get into the presentation of the request for a sublease agreement with the Issa Brothers LLC, I also have with me Mr. Diab Mogribi and Jake Mogribi, who are our construction managers from Axiom Construction, who are here just in case if there's any technical questions in reference to the construction, they can answer.
Can we also unmute Jason Purcella also? He's also on. I asked him to be on here today. Thank you. And Mr. Issa is also present here with us as well. If any questions need to be asked, we're all in the same room.
So, as the council is aware, in 2019, when I became superintendent of the district, that honor was bestowed upon me, and then we had COVID. Then once we came out of COVID, something became a glaring need, and that was the safety of our students and community over at Riverside Middle School. As you know, Riverside Middle School currently has 1,300 students. Of those 1,300 students, vast majority of students are driven to school. Some walk, many take busing and transportation. What became very clear was that we needed to come up with a plan on how to create a more safe environment for our students, our parents, our staff, as well as the everyday travelers on Warren Avenue and Beach Daily. Riverside Middle School sits at a very busy corner. So this, parents, council members, members from the city council, as well as the Board of Education at the time, were reaching out like, how do we make this better? How can we improve this? So one of the things that has helped us through this process is, and I want to thank Mr. Issa and his family, Issa Brothers LLC, is they have allowed us to use the northeast corner of the parking lot of Warren Valley, which has allowed us to pull some cars off the street, but it still creates issues of safety and concern, but as well as traffic congestion. So I just wanted to preface the presentation that this conversation, yes, it is about requesting the city council and the city to approve and to give us consent to sublease with Issa Brothers LLC. But in order for us to do the work and to use district funding, we have to lease that property. And we completed traffic studies, we looked at different scenarios, and this is where the presentation comes in. So I want to just...
I want you to know something, Dr. Musalam, before we move forward with this. When we made that vote on the Warren Valley Golf Course, the first question that was asked to Mr. Issa and his family was, will the Riverside still be able to use the parking lot? 'Cause that was the make or break.
Yes.
And it goes back to the students, the community, and then, like you said, the congestion inside off of Warren.
In that congestion, so our proposed plan, and I'd like everyone to understand that our proposed plan is not something that was created in a whim. We used French and Associates as our architectural firm. Axiom is our construction management team. We had a traffic study completed recently, and with all of that is how we came up with this plan. So this is the quick agenda, and I'll start going through. So the challenges we're solving, first and foremost, as mentioned, and which is the most important challenge, is safety. Ensuring the safety of the students in the community. Those of you that have ever traveled down Warren Avenue during arrival or dismissal time for Riverside Middle School know that there is traffic congestion all the way down Warren Avenue past Beach Daily. And this congestion isn't only unsafe for the drivers, but also our students who are crossing the street. Recently, I want to thank the Dearborn Heights Police Department because they have been a very helpful resource over there. And we've had conversations with our SROs and the Dearborn Heights Police Department on how we can make this more efficient. Again, the efficiency piece, operational efficiency and meeting the requests of community members. In 2020, when we came out of COVID, this was one of the biggest issues that the community kept bringing to my attention, is the safety of that. I don't know if you all remember, I got to dig it up, but when we put, I know Trustee Kaminsky can remember this and Trustee Janoon, but we put up cones and those horse blockers all around to create a path, because what was happening was everyone was blocking access to Warren Valley Golf Course, which was impeding on Mr. Issa's, use of the parking lot, the Warren Valley Golf Course. I mean, there were a lot of things that were happening. And the funny thing is, I remember taking my phone out, we put the cones, and I drove through and I videotaped and said, come in through here, follow these cones, follow out. And the reason for that was because prior to that, I mean, it was just, everybody was everywhere. So that was, we knew that was a temporary fix. But we also knew that in order for us to go the next step, it's gonna cost, us dollars, so on and so forth. And then the partnership that we've had with Warren Valley Golf Course, the Issa Brothers, has been phenomenal. There has not been a time, not one time, where we haven't reached out to Mr. Issa and said, we need your help, and he said no. He was like, yeah, whatever you need. And he said, come on by, let's talk it through, let's figure it out. One time he called me up, and I was in the parking lot directing traffic. And he's like, Dr. Musalam, I need you to see this right now. I'm outside, come see me. And he came out, and him and I were working on things, trying to figure things out. And he was helping me direct traffic. So on top of that, we've had a great working relationship with the council, where just, every time we've come, we've said, look, we need help. The council's always helped us. So these are we're solving problems of, first and foremost, safety, but also efficiency and continuing building upon that partnership. So I'd like to go through this real quick. What is the proposed plan? So this blue area here is the area that we are requesting to sublease. This is the current area that we use, okay? And in the next couple of slides, I actually have the diagram to show you how it all works. So currently, this is the area we use, and currently, this is the Warren Valley exit and entry, and we use that as well. Over here is our parking lot. You see the difference in size. This here is Warren Avenue, and here is Riverside Middle School. So I'd like to move forward because these next slides really explain what our plan is. So our proposed plan is that if we are able to sublease this area from Mr. Issa Brothers LLC, and attain consent from City Council, we will then sublease this area. We will improve this entire area, the asphalt, everything. This will be part of our project. This will be is a bid process. If there's anyone that has any questions on the bid process, please do not hesitate to reach out. Every job we do goes through the bid process. Every job we do goes through the Michigan bid system. We're posting the bids publicly, and then it's a sealed bid opener that is conducted by our attorneys, which is Troon Law Firm, and in support with our construction team, architects, as well as our office. So through the bid process, we will be bringing in a company that will redo this entire area, asphalt, and some small redesign over here because we need to expand a little bit space. This is our current parking lot. Now, I don't know if you can see these arrows, but I have something that will explain how this will work. When we talk about traffic congestion and we talk about how this is going to support our students and our parents, with this plan, we will be able to pull between 75 to 100 cars off of Warren Avenue. So you're looking at that congestion on Warren Avenue, not totally eliminated. I don't want to say here and say it's going to be eliminated by 100%, but it's going to be very close. Additionally, we will be moving away from using Warren Valley's exit and entrance. Purpose of that is then that congestion will be eliminated here as well. And in the next set of slides, I'm going to show you how that's going to look. So this is what we currently do. You see these red dots. This is where the cars are currently lined up. Again,
Alongside Warren.
alongside Warren. This is Warren Avenue. This here is the Warren Valley entry and exit. As everyone knows, there is a light right here. That light is a big nemesis for us because that's what creates a lot of the congestion. Wayne County has been very helpful. Commissioner David Kniezek has helped us as much as he can with that, and I appreciate him for that. So currently cars line up here, they come around here, students get picked up and dropped off in this area, and then they pull out. Well, when they pull out, it's very hard for us to maintain a push out to on westbound Warren because some people want to turn on the eastbound. This creates even more of a congestion. Moreover, we have students who are crossing the street at the light, which then slows it down and creates even more of a congestion. With the proposed plan and why the sublease with Warren Valley and the Issa Brothers is so crucial to the safety and eliminating the congestion is this blue square here, this is our property. Over here starts the city and Warren Valley's property. We will be creating an open gateway where the entry into this circle will start at our entry, the current entry of Riverside Middle School. Cars will pull all the way through and students will be picked up from along here. Then cars will come through and exit our exit. And we will be pushing all cars to go westbound on Warren Avenue. So what we're doing here is we're eliminating the congestion that impacts Mr. Issa's business. We're also eliminating the congestion over here that creates safety hazards for our students who are crossing the street. Additionally, this is going to also support with our Dearborn Heights Police Department, the SROs, to make sure that cars are flowing out of here in a smooth fashion. Now again, why do we need the sublease? We need it because we cannot use district funds on property that is not leased by us or owned by us. We're not asking to own the property. We're asking to lease the property. Moving forward, within the sublease agreement, so this is, right here is another aerial view of what we currently have. Again, I just want to go through this again because this is another view. It might help you see things a little better. Again, this area is our property. With this proposed plan, parents will enter through here, circle about here, come back out this way, and exit at our property. This will be all consolidated so that we are not imposing on Mr. Issa's property, which impacts his ability to get his customers in and out of his property easily. We are also going to be able to reduce the congestion that is created down here, and we'll be able to push all traffic to go westbound on Warren Avenue. So we won't have traffic going both ways, which then, again, this is 2 times during the day. And it's worse at dismissal than it is at arrival. Because at dismissal, everyone's leaving at the same time. At arrival, you have changes here and there.
A lot of late students, huh?
Nah, not really. It's just, sometimes. Matters the weather. So there's some highlights to the sublease agreement that I wanted to just bring up. First off, if this is approved, the process will be that if City Council approves that if City Council consents to Mr. Issa subleasing that northeast corner to the Crestwood School District, it will go to our Board of Education on May 8th for our board's approval, and then Mr. Issa's final approval, because we have to get approval from the city, the board, prior to moving forward. And any contract that we use, doesn't matter whom it's with, the process is it goes to the board reviews it, the board makes sure that everything is what we want to do, and then it goes to the individual or the company. Our goal is to start, if approved, work on June 16th. That is literally the Monday or Tuesday after school lets out. Our goal is to have this project completed before the start of the school year. We put August 31st here, but our goal is to have it done 2 weeks prior to that. This is so that right away we can relieve that congestion and that traffic. In section 4 of the lease does say it's a 50-year lease. And the reason why it says it's a 50-year lease is because of the amount of work and the financial impact it's going to have on the district. And it also states in there that if at some point Mr. Issa if the Issa brothers no longer have a lease agreement with the city, that the city would honor the remainder of the time with the Crestwood School District. So let's say in 20 years, Mr. Issa sells and he's no longer there, he's no longer your leasee, the contract would stipulate that for the next 30 years, the city would honor it. Now, again, I want to reiterate something. The school district gains nothing out of this. Actually, this is going to cost us over $500,000. The community and the residents are the ones that are going to gain out of this. In 50 years from now, I will not be your superintendent. I hope I'm still alive. I'll be 99 years old. But in 50 years from now, this is going to impact our children. This isn't about Crestwood. It's about these kids and the community. And that's why the lease agreement is written that way. Section 5 of the lease agreement is that we would be leasing from the Issa Brothers LLC for $1. Thank you. Save us some money as a district, because as you all know, we're publicly funded. But what we want to do to help Mr. Issa as well is that when Riverside Middle School is not in session, there's also a reciprocal agreement that he will be able to use this parking area if he has any major events where he can use that parking area as additional parking spaces. And right now, it's 65 additional parking spaces. So in the summer, the weekends, evenings, when school's not in session, Mr. Issa will have access to use this, but also this area too. I want to make something clear. I don't have it in here. This area is not closed off. We will be sectioning it off with like cones and, a couple shrubs just to make it look a little pretty. But we're not closing it off because Mr. Issa is going to need that area as well when he has major events. So this, again, comes back to the partnership. And that's something as a school district, we have to have these partnerships with the council, the mayor's office, the police department, fire department, and our local businesses. Taking the next step, part 5, which is an important piece of the sublease, is that basically through this process, again, the way the sublease is written out is that we are coming to council to give consent to Mr. Issa to sublease that northeast corner of the parking lot to the Crestwood School District for the use to repair it, fix it up, clean it up, expand it a little bit, and use it so that we can have a safe traveling distance for our community and to pull that congestion in the traffic off of Warren Avenue. And I want to, again, reiterate, this is all going to go through a bid process. Anyone that would like access to that bid process can reach out to my office and we will connect you with the right individuals. And the Board of Education, all 7 board members approve the bid process. All 7 board members review the bid process. All 7 board members make a determination on how that bid goes out. And, so I just want to make that clear because there's some people that think that jobs are just given to people. No, every project we have goes through a bid process. As the community is aware, we have invested in the city already since 2020. Thank you to my phenomenal board and former board members, Trustee Kaminsky, almost $21 million in our city. If we can, thank you. If we continue to improve our school infrastructure and improve student achievement, that doesn't just help Crestwood in the headlines. It helps our entire community. And right now, this is a key component to our success, to safety, and this has already been moved to phase 1 of our bond process if approved by City Council, then approved by the school board, and then agreed upon by Mr. Issa. So that's basically the highlight of the proposal, the request for the consent to sublease, and I'm open for any questions. Again, the construction team is here, Mr. Issa is here.
Real quick, Dr. Musalam.
Yes.
And I will eventually allow the residents to speak when they have their 2 minutes to be, and allow you to respond. I still think we have to get into a little deeper dive into it for everybody's understanding. I think this is a great presentation. I think this is a very, very, very great first step. I know that time is of the essence with us. I still think we need to take it to somewhat of a study session.
Okay.
Make sure that our attorneys are all looking at this properly, making sure everything's going good.
Yep.
Maybe negotiate a little bit out of you, see if we can get out of the Crestwood School District a little bit. I see Najat is backing up. Maybe assist us with some funding. But I mean, ultimately, look, it goes back to the students, the residents, and safety. I can't tell you how many times I get a phone call from somebody saying, it's so backed up, Warren's a mess. It looks like I see cop cars that are blocking out one lane. And so I think this is going to be a very, very good thing. But I just think we just have to make sure that we're dotting our i's, crossing our t's, and so that, like you said, it's a 50-year lease. We want to make sure that this is something that's, putting our best foot forward. And I know that you're definitely doing that, but, for any of the naysayers out there, I think it's also good and clean to be able to air some of that stuff out.
Oh, we're open to that, of course.
100%, and I know that you
100%. I mean, we're gonna be 1,000% transparent in everything that we do, and we're open to any questions.
Council Chair?
Yes.
Thank you, Council Chair. Dr. Musalam, thank you for an amazing presentation. I love the project. I want to thank Mr. Issa for being on board with this. This is amazing. My question, I don't know if I missed it in the contract, but I know you're doing the improvement, but what about the maintenance? Is it you or is it going to be Mr. Issa?
It is us.
Is it you guys?
Being that we will be leasing the property, we will maintain it, we will plow it, we will clean it up. It will be our responsibility.
You even cut the front of the Warren Valley Golf Course because it's on the city, but they've been graciously doing it.
I mean, I can't say we will, but I mean, sometimes we can be neighborly supporters.
Nice. We'll just throw it in the lease.
So that goes down probably for the snow and everything, correct?
Yes, everything.
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 The entire Warren Valley.
I don't know about that, but.
Guys, we're negotiating right now. I'm not even trying to be funny. Any other questions here? Yep, Councilman Constant.
Thank you, and thank you, Dr. Musalam, for coming. Of course, the school district will have liability insurance coverage and for their responsibilities in their portion. And then you might want to consider a lease for 10 years with an option to renew, because 50 years is a long time. I mean, who knows? 40 years, kids may all be going to school sitting in front of the computer. I hope not, but, so that would be my only thought, is a 10-year period renewable.
We can look at that period. One of the things we just want to ensure is that, because we're going to be investing so much money into that property, we want to make sure that we're getting useful life out of it based on our investment. But we definitely can have that conversation and go back and look at the terms in reference to a number of years.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I see Jason Purcell's got his hands up.
Yeah, thanks, Mo. Look, the golf course is fully supportive of this as well. We understand the need, and we see, just how dangerous it is out on the streets and the traffic congestion it causes for all of us. Just a technical thing to consider. So you may recall during the golf course agreement or negotiation process that the city was very concerned about the rights to retain the parking lot, so that the parking lot could be used for the school and it could be used for concerts and things like that. And so consequently, the lease actually, or the definition of premises, excludes the parking lot in the lease agreement that we have. We have, the golf course and the ESAs, the right to use the parking lot as much as we'd like, but we don't actually, I don't think that we have the right to sublease to the school. I think that's gonna have to be the city.
Yep.
I agree. Definitely.
Anything else, Jason?
No, that's it.
Thank you very much. So I'll have you get up if you want to ask a couple of questions. And then I know you had your hand up.
Hi, Sue Kaminsky, former school board member, but this deal for using the parking lot was before the current school board members. And Donna Ansonik went to the county when the county owned the golf course, and I believe it was 2002. So this has been long ongoing, and got a handshake deal that Riverside Crestwood School District could always use that parking lot. So I just wanted everyone to know where it originated and how. And it was because back then there was problems with it, and there was nothing in writing, but it was one of those deals. And that's why when the city took over from the county the golf course, I was pretty vocal that this continue on because of that handshake deal. So I just kind of wanted to give a little history so no one thinks that there's something going on here, somebody's trying to take advantage. This is nothing that is new. It's just finally putting it in paper and taking some responsibility.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Go ahead, sir. Please state your name. I'm sorry.
My name is Ali Chaito, and I wasn't here for this proposal, by the way. I'm here for another problem. By hearing the story of the parking lot, this is half a solution. We always, as a Crestwood, we come with half solutions. Also, the city as whole, we come with half solutions. Technically, we're not paying $1 for that lease. We're paying $500,000 plus almost $1 million. So, and we're not solving the issue, given the fact that there's almost half of the students probably there be driven to school. Cutting the buses, which I don't know. I have 5 kids. I have to go between schools to drop here and drop there. We don't have budget, but we approved before $20 million. It disappeared for some reason. Now we have $90 million that we're sitting and we don't know how to spend it. Technically, that solution, it's nothing but causing another problem. The reason why, coming off Warren and entering that parking lot for the school, then you're going to push people all the way to the other exit to drop their students, okay, in the winter time, and then coming around to come back and then making right where they're going to be stuck again at that light, okay, where almost 90% of the students that are coming west of Beach Daily. So solving a problem for somebody else from our tax money, we're not accepting this. Thank you.
Council Chair,
Can I respond? I don't know if there was a question in there or not.
I got a few questions, Council.
Yeah, okay. Let me hear, then I'll have you and respond at once.
So
Go ahead, Councilman.
I appreciate the residents' input and thoughts on this, but we did have a traffic study done, correct?
Correct.
And the traffic study does implement what what the district is proposing, correct?
The traffic study
Because
does represent what has been proposed.
The problem is, and I pass by there daily right when school's out, the problem is that right after school and you get out, people heading east and people heading south on Beach Daily, it's an absolute cluster. There's no movement of traffic. Watching the police officers that sit on the corner directing traffic, let students cross. By pushing traffic and managing the traffic, it's gonna relieve things, because believe me, right now with the young gentleman that came up, no matter which way you put traffic, the congestion's always pushed down both ways, on Beach Daily and on Warren. It doesn't solve the issue. If we can take traffic off and direct traffic one way, heading west on Warren, I think it prevents a lot of congestion going back east. And there are people that want to turn south and people that want to go north on Beach Daily. That's the problem we have, is that the kids that are crossing there, the accidents they run in, the injuries that we have on their corner, even if we spend $1 million as a taxpayer myself, saving one kid from getting injured, somebody getting killed, it's worth every penny. Believe it or not, so.
Point of order, nothing from honest.
And trust me, what I'm saying, and this is not to.
Point of order, sir. Point of
Okay,
order,
I'm not
please.
getting emotional, I'm just saying that I don't have kids, but I'm a taxpayer, okay? But having one kid get hit by a car crossing the road or anything, it's priceless. There's no price of money you can put on somebody from a
Discuss to
taxpayer.
everybody.
But what I'm saying is that we did have a traffic study, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I'm gonna take two more questions and then we're gonna move on from this.
My name is Zainab Maru. I have a child at Crestwood. I would like to first reach out to the city, to the ISAs and Dr. Masalam, who have worked crazy hours to try to get this bond passed. The ISA brothers have worked with us through everything. I've had WISAM out there and helping us direct traffic with Dr. Masalam. When Dr. Masalam had to get in a car and have to drive around to show parents how to drive around and put their car, I actually called him laughing. Okay, because it's mainly common sense that a lot of people are missing, but it's our kids that are at stake. And what we're trying to do is just that one child that we could protect is what we need to do. And if they're investing that kind of money, 10, 20 years, and they're going to keep up with it, and we're working with our neighbors, I think it's a no-go. I mean, like, let's just do it. We have to do this for the safety of our kids.
It's a yes go, you mean?
It's a yes go, yes.
I think you might say it's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. It really is a no-brainer. I'm out there as a parent, directing traffic, helping as much as I can. It's too risky. It's crazy. Our kids are at stake. Our community neighbors are not happy. Our neighbors as a business owner, not happy. He's doing everything he can to help us. We need to help them, and we need to keep our kids safe.
Thank you.
Guys, I just want to say something, and I don't want to kind of like, beat a dead horse, but the gentleman that spoke, and this man is also shedding some light on certain things. There is going to be a little concerning, I know there was a traffic study done, but when you are sending everybody west, is there going to be now the city enforcing that you can't turn left onto the Amboy Street to go take all the way down to cut through the neighborhood and then Hess, which is going to end up, it's just going to be.
You shouldn't be able to even go down that street because it's not
Where to
safe.
go?
Council, point of order, sir, point of order, please. This is, yeah, ma'am, please, ma'am.
Ma'am, please.
A point of order. I'm just saying some food for thought, just something that I'm now just, and it's okay to have difference of opinion, guys. That's what this is all about, having a great discussion. And we're not always going to agree to, we sometimes agree to disagree. But I am going to hear from one more. I know Mr. Abdul Haq had his hand up. Trustee, I will hear from you during public comments, which is in 2 minutes. It's right after this. Mr. Abdul Haq, and then we are going to move this. We're going to hear from Dr. Musam and move on.
Good evening, Zuhair Abdul Haq. I just want to tell a little story to the public about this golf course. When Mr. Baidoun, the owner of Bellagio, came, he wants to buy that property and put housing on it. He approached me.
It's not me, Mr. Baidoun, by the way, for full disclosure. I don't even got 2 pennies to rub right now.
He came to me, to my office, and asked me to talk to a couple of the city council members, Mrs. Lisa Hexe-Clayton and Ray Muscat, and to convince him to basically go ahead and agree to have 4 to 3 votes to sell it to him through the county, so the city will approve the sale. And I did talk to the council people, and they wrote letters on his behalf, and 2 other people, Dave Abdallah and Tom Berry, wrote the same letters. And when I found out and the city council members at the time found out that it's a floodplain, they retracted. We retracted all the letters and all the support to keep that a floodplain and to keep it golf course and not to build on it at any time now or in the future. Now I'm looking at the plan. I think the wise thing to do is to go to a study session, because the traffic study which was shown here is not convincing to me that it is the safest way, because when you make a left turn coming out, is there going to be...
You can't make a left turn, he said. You can only go right.
You can go only right. Now, those people will go again to the other side. Probably they're going to make left turn the next street.
Yeah, you're gonna
I
have that.
suggest you guys put it to a study session, because this is a very important to the safety of our kids. And I thank Mr. Isa because, he came along, but I do believe that this will save the city some money by taking the school board, spending the money to fix that property, because we are responsible for it according to the contract with Mr. Isa. So that will save the city around $500,000. But again, look at the study session to see the traffic study. That is the most important. That will assure the safety of our kids, and that's the most important issue.
Thank you. And just to do some wrap up here, Dr. Musallam, and we'll go from there.
Just a quick wrap up. I mean, listen, we take everyone's input very seriously. And throughout this entire process, we've had, through the traffic study, through traffic engineers, through our architectural firm, through our construction team, we've looked at many different options. And this option was the best option that came out in terms of what's going to be the most safe, and at the same time without we're landlocked. And what everyone has to understand, and I'll just close with this, school districts that were built in the 1960s and before, we all think about the school districts that are being built in the last 20, 30 years. School districts that were built 1960s and before were built as neighborhood schools. What I mean by that is they weren't built to keep traffic into consideration, because everyone was walking to school. And this is a struggle that we have in the city of Dearborn Heights across our city, not just at Crestwood, but at all schools, is that there is limited space for schools to expand and or take more concrete areas for such issues, because these districts, again, 1960s and before, were built as walking school districts and did not take into consideration the mass amount of cars and transportation on the roads today. And I do want to say that when it comes to busing, there is a national shortage of bus drivers. And through our board meetings, and it's in the notes, any bus routes that we had to cancel is because we didn't have staff. The companies that we lease out to didn't have staff, and we had to cut bus routes because there was no one to drive the buses. And they offered raises, they offered bonuses, they offered stipends, they promoted it, and this is a national problem right now. So we're trying to take all of this that's happening and create the best solution for the community. So again, council, I appreciate your time. I appreciate the comments by everyone from the community.
Thank you. We're going to hear from two quick council members, and we're going to move on from this. Councilwoman Menalowski-Maxwell.
Yes, actually, you brought up something I didn't think about. You're absolutely correct. When I was in elementary school in Dearborn Heights, everybody walked. We actually walked home for lunch and walked back to school. It was that close. That's how the neighborhoods were set up. So I didn't even think about that. There was no bus.
Councilman, all set, Councilwoman?
Thank you, Council Chair. Dr. Musallam, just a quick question with the traffic study. Does it say how many, do you know exactly how many people are, using cars to be driven to school, or?
We have that. I'm pretty sure we have that in the numbers. I can pull that up and I'll bring it to the study session. I don't know it off the top of my head.
And I don't know if you can go back to the diagram, if you don't mind, where it shows that green dotted line. Does it tell you how many cars it fits in that parking lot, and back to back?
Like stacking?
For the green?
Yes.
They're saying we'll get at least 100 cars off of Warren Avenue.
100 cars. And was that traffic study shared with our police department and with the chief?
I have to go back and check my notes. I want to say yes, but I have to double check.
Okay.
And not our current chief.
Not the current chief.
Not our current chief.
Okay, I'm sorry. And my third one could be a suggestion. I'm not sure if it could be, if you can go back to the first one, if you don't mind. See that green spot to the right? I know this is like a divider between the west parking lot for Riverside and the east parking lot. Is it possibly maybe to have maybe like a driveway in the green spot and maybe have the people going in and exiting on Beach Daily, or that's impossible?
Not, so we did think about that, but the problem is we don't have enough space there to put concrete based on code.
Okay.
So we won't be able to put anything over there. That space.
No, I'm talking about the southeast corner.
You're talking about over
right
here?
here, in the corner, see the southeast corner. Yep,
Here?
right there, yeah, right there.
So again, what will happen is that would probably take maybe 30 cars off of Warren. That area is not large enough.
No, I'm talking, if you do the same plan, go in, like the valley, the course parking lot, going back out.
I was gonna say, give him the laser.
Yeah.
Can you show this diagram?
That one?
Yeah. So I'm saying, you going back?
So right there is our current parking lot.
Correct. So they're going in from here, correct?
Correct.
They're going in, they're gonna go around, maybe they can go back out, going through this, like a driveway, going to this parking lot over here, and exiting on Beach Daily.
Too much.
So the problem is you'll have conflicting traffic patterns because we have buses and students in that area over there, and that's a parking lot that's used by the staff. So there's not much space there.
And you got your bus route there.
Yeah. And it comes back to, we're landlocked. That's our biggest issue is we're landlocked. And look, there really isn't a perfect scenario, so we're trying to find the best scenario available.
And let's just put this out there. If we don't do this, well, we're gonna keep using Warren Valley's entrance and exit. I mean, worst case scenario.
Are we able to open another like entry and exit on that parking spot with the blue line is, or that's?
Over here, this is the county property,
Okay.
so we would have to go through the county for that. What we're trying to do is we're trying to maintain it where we're using only the
Shouldn't
city
you got some
and
friends in the
district
county?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's not necessary, but because you want it to come like this,
I want it to be long.
yeah, you want to be able to stack as many cars as possible. You know?
property. That will come to study session.
You want to enter everything through the Riverside parking lot and make the exit and entrance to Riverside and leave. You don't want Warren Valley Golf Course drivers to come in and start pulling in from there. You get what I'm saying? You don't want them to get confused.
So right now, just so you know, safety of our team as well, there are times we have staff members who stand right here to make sure that cars don't block the entire entry. I can tell you, I've done it, and it's not safe. Now, I'm the superintendent, I get run over. But I don't want any of my team getting run over. And it's very difficult. It's very difficult. And we're just trying to find the best case scenario.
We're going to take this to a study session.
That sounds great.
I think this is great information. I think everybody is kind of in agreement. It's just ironing out the knots and whatnot.
That we're more than welcome to that. Just let me know when, we'll get the team there.
And it'll most likely be sometime next week. Okay?
I don't want to mess up this with IT. Should I just unplug it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time. Oh, it's still Cassie's. Oh, maybe I got to hit this.
All right, we're going to take, Dr. Musalam, I appreciate you and I appreciate the trustees for being here today. And I appreciate the residents for being here as well. And no, man, it's my pen.
It's on the floor.
Next up, we have 4B, minutes of the regular meeting, April 8th, 2025.
Council Chair,
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the minutes for the regular meeting of April 8, 2025 as outlined in 4-B.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Please, sir, nothing from the audience. Thank you. Next up, we have public hearings and public comments on anything you'd like to talk about.
Zoom.
Yep, I see that. Yep, step right up. You have 2 minutes. Please state your name, the city you reside in, the street that you live on.
Ali Chato, I live on Robindale in Dearborn Heights.
Hang on 1 second, sir. Please, nothing from the audience. Please. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
I've been a resident in Dearborn Heights for the past 19 years, on the same street, in the same house, in the same neighborhood. I'm sick and tired of Dearborn Heights. That's unfortunate. With all the changes, that
Guys,
comes to the
please,
city,
hang on one second. Pause this time.
we haven't
Mr.
seen
Dean,
it.
can you guys take it out there, please? Thank you.
We haven't seen any improvement. We used to get some cleaning, some road patching or removal of potholes. We used to see a lot of good things in the first couple of years. I moved in 2006. After that, I've been begging me and my neighbors to just take care of our street. I talked to a lot of people, I'm not going to name, there's people sitting here, and nobody showed any respect to a resident of Dearborn Heights paying taxes. The second thing, I reached to the Department of Public Safety, I believe.
Public Works, DPW.
But yeah, they're just ignorant or arrogant or whatever it is. I'm specifically here for the problem on my street. It's off Warren, north of Warren, entering Robindale. There's a lot of potholes, and it's not enough to patch it. Every year they come, they throw some asphalt where it's deleted after them. It goes away when there's little rain or the snow. I cannot drive my cars, and it's very hazardous where it's subject to injuries for people. They're walking for some reason. I reach to whatever, Mr. Ali, the engineer, no response.
Pause this time. Pause this time real quick. I just want to give you guys a quick background story. I know Mr. Shaitu since I was a very young man. His son was actually just got his driver's license and was driving, his dad got him a vehicle. I think the week his father got him a vehicle, his tire popped because he hit a pothole. And so about 2.5 years ago, I called in about this on Robindale, and he's still in the same exact scenario. I just want to give a quick background on where his frustration is coming from. Continue.
I know I have a lot of pictures, and it needs to be all removed and put new. It's actually the silly part. It's just that little space. It's instead of throwing the asphalt and putting budget for this repair year after year, it could have been done long time ago. But I don't know who's in charge, and I just need your help. This is the last time I ask for help because I'm going to go different route.
Council Chair,
Thank you.
Yep.
can you give your information to George right there and leave your email?
It's in the front.
Or in the front, I'm sorry.
There's a form, just fill it out, Mr.
And I'll
Shaitu.
reach out to the director, and the director is right there, actually, if you want to pass by and see that street director, Dancy.
Thank you.
Are they there? Usually,
You should.
there we go. There you go, you want a pen?
Go ahead, ma'am, you got 2 minutes. Please state your name, the city you reside in, the street that you live on, trustee.
Najah Janoon, Whitefield Street, Dearborn Heights, Michigan. So I might need a few little extra time, but hopefully not. So I will just say this. We have worked, like with the whole bond process, at least a year, and we had, I want to say 6 or 7 community meetings where, the process was being discussed and we were looking for community input. There is no perfect solution. There really is no perfect solution. So and I totally understand the gentleman's concerns about, you eliminate one problem, you cause another one. At this point, it's trying to do as much damage control as possible to lessen, the concerns. And I know that there's a resident that I've spoken to several times that has concerns about, people parents turning left onto Berwyn Street, and then they're speeding down Berwyn Street. But she was requesting, I know you guys, I'm sure you're all aware of the stop sign that was supposed to be put up on Berwyn, and it's been a very long time that has been, supposed to be done. But anyways, here's my thing. If our parents are not going to follow the rules, no matter what we do, we're going to have problems. So, there's rules in place. You can't turn left. You can't and they're doing it anyways. So right now, as a school district, all we can do is try and come up with the best solution, but we need the parents' help to make sure that they're eliminating a lot of our problems. They're turning left when they're not supposed to be turning left. There's signs that say don't turn left, they're turning left anyways. So, and honestly, that's our biggest problem. So if I had to drive a little extra, a little further to make sure that the kids were safe, I'm going to do it. I mean, if I have to inconvenience myself a little bit for the safety of the students, I'm going to do it. So if the concern is that I have to drive further down in order to go home, if you have a better solution, please come to the study session and let us hear it. But if you have to be inconvenienced, that's our problem. That's our biggest problem. Nobody wants to be inconvenienced.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll give you an extra 30 seconds. Anyone else? I see we got one on Zoom. Oh. How you doing, ma'am? You have 2 minutes. Please state your name, the city you reside in, and the street that you live on.
Kim Spurgis, Amboy, Dearborn Heights. The only thing you guys might have to consider if you are going to go that way is you might have to put an actual turn signal at the golf course at Berwyn. Because right now there isn't one, but you know what I'm saying? So they'd actually have a chance to turn down that way to get out.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sue Kaminsky, Amboy Street, Dearborn Heights.
Amen.
So I always talk about the police and our lack thereof. I just wanted to let everyone here know that we had another police officer who was wrongly fired April 25th of 2022, who was reinstated, or will be reinstated rather, and we have to give 3 years' salary, which he deserves, totally. But again, because of our rotating police chiefs and our absent mayor, and the chaos he's caused with our police department, this is what's going on. I wanted everyone to be aware.
Mr. Perry, go ahead.
Drabkowski, Columbia Street. Just wanted to highlight on the school issue. Why don't we come up with a school zone? Like I said a couple of times, eliminate the Canfield Center, eliminate the fire station, move Crestwood or Riverside over to that property. Put the fire station where Riverside is presently now.
You want us to close down Riverside?
Move the school.
And move the school, build a new school.
I would love that.
Use the property as a school zone. Okay, like I said, eliminate Canfield, put the Riverside Middle School section over at Canfield property and the fire station. Once the Riverside School is torn down, move the fire station and the Canfield Community Center to that location, incorporate it into the Warren Valley property, and have one recreational system there.
You know how much money it is to build a school?
Well, there's these things that used to be called grant writers, funding from grants. So if we get a grant writer, or if we have one that knows what they're doing, we could get the funding.
Hey, good
Okay.
news is, I agree with you, but you know how much money, let me answer
I
your
know, it's
question.
going to cost a lot of money.
$60 million.
Okay,
That's 10 times, that's tenfold.
okay.
For what, new school?
Yeah, $60 million for a new
Yeah, I don't
school.
think there's grants for school anymore.
More? Well, I mean, the last,
The lottery's gone up to
what is it?
It was over 100. We looked into it. It
Yeah.
was gonna be over 100.
Yeah, Vince, no grant's gonna get us that.
So more bond if you want.
Well,
We can pass more bonds.
well, there's got to be funding somewhere. Somebody's not asking the right questions. So, just a thought, but do a property swap. So,
I appreciate you, Vince.
food for thought.
It is. Hang on 1 second, Margaret. Go ahead, Mr. Perry.
Good afternoon, Council.
Sure. Please state your name, the city you
Blake
reside in.
Perry, I live on Fenton. I wanted just to address something. There was an issue where a person with autism got shot by a police officer. I didn't know if anybody saw that.
Yes.
I'm not even going to speak on what the Secretary of Health said about people with autism, but I think that law enforcement does need to get a little bit credit because when you work with disability people, it's very hard. So, as a person with lived experience, I started my own consulting business, so when I do presentation, I do lived experience. When I first moved here, I just became my own guardian, so I had to deal with medication change and things happen, and I had to communicate with law enforcement. And so going in there, and this is kind of funny, I think that this would probably be good live, building this information by saying, I know this, I know that, to a point, it got really bad, like, how can I build this connection? I'm like, oh, I'll just interact my favorite superhero. When I interacted my favorite superhero, they were like, and they brought a female copy in, right? They brought a female copy in to deal with the situation. And I explained, I do this, I do that, and they understood. And with that approach, I think it's important because right now there's a state thing where they're trying to do fingerprints, and there just needs to be more education with law enforcement and people in general. So I think that's really important. So I'm not going to let you guys know what superhero is, but I'm pretty sure all the cops know. And by the way, that's a way that a person can build something with the community. And I think that when we educate law enforcement like that, we educate and then we have fun because everybody has fun, like, who is this ever superhero? So other than that, I think it's important because I think when you look at different things, that's how you learn. So I'm out.
Thank you, sir.
You're a good man, Blake.
Blake, thank you very much, sir.
I saw your brother at work. So I thought that was your brother.
I don't, yeah. I have two brothers.
They don't claim the third one.
I do, ma'am. You got 2 minutes. Please state your name, the city you reside in, and the street that you live on.
Margaret King, Mayfair Street, Dearborn Heights. Do we have any updates? Do we know our plans? No? Roger, do we have any updates or any plans on the school zone safety, where we stand?
Well, I think if you want to look at the school zone safety, we are looking at, one of the issues is the speeding and the actions of the juveniles in the city. In fact, I had a meeting today with Garden City Family Resource Center and what they're doing in terms of dealing with implementing rules and regulations and positive effects on the juveniles, teenagers. We're also looking at, I think school safety addresses a lot of issues, including the vaping, including the marijuana and vaping, including the truancy. We're looking at all those, in fact, how to implement.
Do you know where we got, when we got the grant from Mr., like, where we got the grant and as far as that stuff goes?
A grant for what?
The school zone safety that we received?
I wasn't involved in that, but I can
Okay.
check with the mayor for you.
Okay, yeah, if I could
I
just
think
get.
Mr. Dibb was involved in that, but
Okay, I'm just looking for updates. I mean, we're here,
Absolutely.
another school year's gone, and I've been fighting for 2 years and I'm still waiting. But I
Yeah.
appreciate it, and if you hear anything, please let me know, okay?
yeah, like I said, truancy,
Okay.
vaping, marijuana, the school threats and the cyberbullying, the pictures getting sent around. We're trying to work on all that for the kids. So
I
this is
appreciate
part
it.
of part of the package.
Thank you so much.
Let's hear from the resident real quick. Nice to see you again. Please state your name, the city you reside in, and the street that you live on.
My name is Luigi Peruzzi, live in Dearborn Heights on Plainfield Street,
Yep.
and I'm just following up to see if there's been any furtherance towards ordinance regarding the short-term rentals.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's going on with that? It's supposed to. What is it?
I thought it went to, did it go to zoning?
Did it go to?
Planning or zoning, yeah, I did. I think it was presented to you and then it was referred to
Yeah.
planning. Whether or not they had a meeting, I don't know.
We put together a resolution.
That's right.
The resolution needs to go before the planning commission. The planning commission will vote on it to make sure that it meets all its requirements. Once it's passed through planning, it'll come back to us for final discussion and then a final vote. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Proposed ordinance.
I think the next one is May 8th. Because I knew somebody that had, or May 8th or May 16th or something like that.
It's on a Thursday, but I'm not quite sure what.
Somebody was asking to get on
Look
the
at the
April
calendar.
meeting, and then they moved it to May, so I knew that there was a May meeting.
Is a Thursday.
May 8th is a Thursday?
Yes.
May 8th. So it'll be on the May 8th Planning Commission meeting first. Thank you.
Ready?
And the gentleman is the individual that lives on Plainfield that had the incident where the Airbnb had over 50 different people in there, a fight broke out. And so he's just following back up. Hundreds. Right around the block from me. Go ahead.
Okay, the first part of this discussion is going to be as a resident, Linsania Kennedy Street in Dearborn Heights.
You got 2
And
minutes.
I am going to agree with former trustee Sue Kaminsky. It was a handshake between the county. It was supposed to be like continuation. I was in the audience, I think, at the time, and I know safety is why I got on the board. And for the reduced school zone on Beach Daily is the only one in the city, and we made that happen. But I would like to talk with the chief to see how many tickets have actually been written there. I did notice that the traffic around there, the drop-off and pickup, because they use my street, has drastically increased. So the kids are crossing on Beach Daily as well.
A war zone.
Yeah, it's bad.
It really is.
I mean,
It's a war zone.
so it is something that needs to be addressed like yesterday. So thank you, Crestwood School District. On the second one, I know this is budget, but I had my budget hearing and we discussed revenues. And after that, I have to give a shout out to Rachel Lapointe because she had posted something about revenues for business licensing. Remember, we said how it was going down. I could not go back in the GL to see beyond like the past 2 years, but I want to thank Rachel for bringing that up. I want to thank our Deputy Treasurer Garcia because she allowed me to come in the Treasurer's office, run reports and cash receipting so that I could see actually what was received in. There was $30,000 so far that has been received in the Treasurer's office. And I don't know how the journalizing goes or anything. I mean, I know it gets journalizing. But then I also have to thank our Deputy Clerk, Flamant, who used to work in the Comptroller's office, and institutional knowledge is very important. I think you all know that. She remembers when she was in the Comptroller's office, there is a disconnect between business licensing and the GL accounts. So what I have to, so I want to shout out to Lori Kupchak, who helped me through this, as well as Michelle Lewis from Plant Moran. They're going to fix it. They're going to fix it. I don't know where it was.
So what was the actual number?
30,000. Approximately 30,000. What did we show? 7,700? I couldn't figure it out.
So it hasn't changed?
It's up 30,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
What we showed in Monty is going to update it once it comes to the final, so that you guys get adequate, the correct amounts.
I was saying, like, what could have happened?
Exactly. And she posted this, and you can see it went down. So it's like, that concerned me because
But that's not obviously, that is not accurate then.
This one is not. So this one should be up here. This one should be 30,000. In Georgian,
What's the highest on that graph?
40.
Okay, so we're about
Well, 41 if you go back to 2015, 2016.
Still a big drop, though.
Oh, absolutely. So the next day, Georgianne ran our business licensing program to see how many, business licenses we issued. And even if you did $50, I think it was not 7,700. Okay. So we got it figured out. We just have to get it fixed.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's that one. And one last thing, today at 4 o'clock was the filing deadline for our city offices. Candidates have until Friday at 4 o'clock if by any reason they want to withdraw from their candidacy. Right now, as it stands, we haven't heard final confirmation on all of the affidavits that I sent over today, but we will have a primary for one of the offices. I can't say the names on who it is, but that's what we got so far.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening again, Zuhair Abdelhad.
2 minutes.
Less than 2 minutes. I have a question for Roger. We've been talking about the charter review for almost a year and a half. Resolution was passed, and you promised that last June of last year you're going to have something. Can you tell us where we are with this?
Yeah, I sent the letter in to the Attorney General's office. I'm waiting for them to come back with the approval for the language that has to go on the ballot. Once I have that, it'll be put on the ballot. It has a sentence that first people will vote, that they have to approve, that they want to put it on the ballot and have a vote on it. And then it'll have, I think I combined also that exactly what the 9 members would be and everything else that would be composed of it. But then you have to have the people running. I combined it, so people then will have to run for those 9 positions.
Do you expect that we'll have something by November this year?
I think so. I will check. I have not checked this week. I'll check next week.
Okay.
At the end of this week with the Attorney General's office and see.
Thank you. The second thing, did the city council reallocate the money for the, what do you call it, the 911 center? We allocated $386,000 for that room 2 years ago. And what happened to it? Anybody?
Ali Deeb, Mr. Deeb said he was working on it and they had bids.
Mr.
And they were
Deeb,
going to start working on it. Remember?
anybody knows where the money is?
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else on those bids?
Is the money available? You don't know? Okay.
I mean,
I ask this honorable city council, please reallocate this money.
well, I mean, if it was allocated in the budget, it shouldn't
I
have been
don't know if it exists, but I think it was spent already. I don't believe it is, and you can check the line item. It's very easy. You can ask the controller. She'll tell you, or Mrs. Treasurer. So check on it and see where that $386,000 gone. Thank you
so much. Anyone else in the audience? Seeing none, we'll move it over to Zoom. Barb Brennan?
Good evening, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good evening, council people, residents. I have 2 things. First, I'd like to know when we're going to put our flags down at half-mast because we lost Pope Francis. It's supposed to be half-mast everywhere for the president. If you can get that taken care of. My second question, it is going to be about this billing that we have going on between the city versus one of our council members. I'm going to call her out, Denise Malinowski Maxwell. We are still paying bills. I don't know who this Nan Berry is.
I'm going to ask you to refrain from saying any names, please.
Actually, it's already written out.
Okay,
It's
sorry.
backup.
Okay, well, there's a bill, I think it's on page 37. It's 3 hours of recordings and Facebook. And I would like to know what is the total amount between these 2 residents, that this is a civil matter. We have paid out a lot of money, the residents have. This is not our problem. This is a civil matter. And I would just like to know if anybody can answer me, why are we still paying? What is the total amount we have paid? And how are we gonna recoup that money back? Are we gonna make these people do civil service so we can get our money back?
Council Chair, I will speak with your permission just briefly on that issue.
Go ahead. I'll have Roger answer you. Paul,
There's a false narrative being circulated that anyone's bills are being paid for any one citizen. If a person, any person, council member, mayor, anybody violates an ordinance and they don't comply with the ordinance requirements, they get a ticket issued. If they have not, then that's our job, is to prosecute. That's what we do. We're not prosecuting on behalf of any particular individual. We are following the ordinance that was issued. So therefore, it is fully a city matter, and the conflict of interest comes up as I represent the city council and our office does. That's why it's transferred out to another city. That's not picked by us. It's picked by the court administration that controls the Third Circuit Court. They have to decide if this will be approved. They have to decide and approve the lawyers that would be prosecuting on behalf of the city, not any particular individual based on an ordinance violation. That's what you're dealing with, so I want to correct any false narratives that are out there. So the Third Circuit approved the law firm that's doing it, the judge that's doing it, and the court where it's located. That's what the city's paying for. It would be here if it wasn't a council member.
am I still on?
Yes.
Okay. My question is on all these bills from, I think it's Hallman or whatever, for the last few council meetings, it shows said person and said council person, their names, so it is a matter of public record that we are seeing this, that the residents are paying this bill.
I don't think you understood what I said. You want me to?
So Barb, let me explain to you guys a quick scenario. Let me give you guys a quick scenario on this.
I should be the one.
We had, and you'll be able to speak on it, Councilwoman, in a second.
Okay.
But I want you guys to know briefly, because I went back and I looked at this. We had a former council member that got into a fight with a resident. It couldn't be prosecuted in Dearborn Heights. Dearborn Heights hired, for whatever this prosecution was happening, they hired out an attorney that represented the city of Dearborn Heights to go out and prosecute this outside of Dearborn Heights. Regardless of who the two parties are, whether you're the mayor, the clerk, the treasurer, a councilwoman, if the city is saying, we are not going to prosecute this in Dearborn Heights because of a potential conflict of interest, take it outside of Dearborn Heights, the city is paying for that resource. And I even reached out to this former councilman. I said, hey, what's going on? He said, the same exact scenario happened to me. He said, the city had to, he goes, and my name was on there. Because, when I looked at this backup, I was like, man, look, what is going on here? So I called this former councilman. Obviously, it settled in Dearborn. Dearborn Heights had the bill. Dearborn Heights outsourced that prosecution and gave it to Dearborn, and they had to pay for it. So from whatever this law firm that they hired to prosecute outside of Dearborn Heights, you got to pay them. This isn't, I don't think it's about picking and choosing and taking sides. This is Dearborn Heights saying, we don't want it in Dearborn Heights' court. Take it to another community, because you're not allowed. Take it to another community, and whatever the bill is, we'll pay for it. So here's this attorney that does the work and pays for it. From what I get understanding. Now, regardless of the emotions that's stuck in this, I know it sucks. There's a colleague of mine that's sitting here, and her name is on the backup, and it makes things, ugly across the board. But the truth is, Dearborn Heights made the right move by saying, we're not going to prosecute this in Dearborn Heights. Judge David Turfey and Judge Pilecki are not going to look at this. Take it to another person.
Okay. All right, I get it. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And I know this was an issue too, back in, when the former council member had somewhat of an issue. But when we pull up the fund transfers and current claims, anybody that wants the council member to speak on it, they can.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councilman.
Yeah, I'd like to speak on this. First of all, the attorney fees that are being paid by the city of Dearborn Heights are for the city of Dearborn Heights. None of mine have been paid. None of my expenses have been taken care of by Dearborn Heights. That's been handled by me and me personally and only me. I did comply with the ordinance. I did nothing wrong. I applied for a.
Chair, I don't want to.
Please do not interrupt.
Point of order.
I applied for a fence permit like any resident is allowed to. I was approved and I paid the fee before the fence was installed. I then installed the fence. I do have a survey, and a recent survey, not an old one that was done years ago, a recent survey showing the fence is on my property lines. I have done all the inspections and all of them have been approved. This is ridiculous to spend this kind of money for a ticket that would have been $130 if I had truly done something wrong. $130 ticket, and we're up to how many thousands? And not including what come out of my pocket, too. This is a private dispute between two neighbors. Why did we pay $2,380 on this bill with phone calls with her and emails? That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. They're weaponizing the city to come after me at the residents' expense, and that's not fair to the residents. Like I said, my expenses have been taken care of by myself personally. Also, too, when you start getting into reviewing my Facebook, it's no longer about a fence. It's personal. So please understand that, too.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm sorry, nothing from the audience. Thank you, Councilwoman. Are you all set? Any more public comments? Do we have any more on Zoom, Madam Clerk? Thank you very much. We're moving on to number 6, fund transfer and current claims. Do I have a motion? Councilman Saab?
Move the Dearborn I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the current claims in ACH wire transfers 6-1 through 6-38 as submitted.
Second. A motion by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any discussion? Or should we take a vote?
I'll go for a vote first.
Any discussion?
Discussion.
Any discussion? I see none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on to number 8, reports from mayor. Annapolis High School Homecoming Parade 2025. Council Chair. Councilman Constant?
Thank you. That the Dearborn Heights City Council grant permission to Annapolis High School to hold their annual homecoming parade on Friday, September 26, 2025, at 5 p.m. with staging to begin at 4:15 p.m. Police Hadar and Fire Chief Brogan have approved the route and will provide services as they require, as outlined in 8A.
Second.
Is that the right
Motion by Councilman Constant, seconded by Councilwoman Nancy Breyer. Any discussion? I see none. Whoever is in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Council Chair, we're on number 9 now.
Thank you, Councilman. Sorry, I stepped out for a quick second. All right, next up is Treasurer Hicks Clay and City Depositories Update Bank Documents.
Council Chair,
Councilwoman Breyer.
I'll make a motion that the Dearborn Heights City Council authorize the treasurer to update the bank signers to include Mayor Bill Bazey, Interim Comptroller Paul Vanderplow, City Clerk Lynn Insenia,
Nothing
and
from the audience,
Treasurer
please.
Lisa Hicks, as outlined in 9A.
Before I approve this, I have a question.
Let's second it for discussion.
Okay, second for discussion.
Motion made by Councilwoman Breyer, seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion?
One second. The interim comptroller, weren't we supposed to approve the approval for this, to sign documents?
That's what it's saying here. It's update the banks. This is what we're voting on.
There's supposed to be a motion submitted.
Yes, that's what you would do if you decide to
motion?
approve it, because it is your option as a city council, the honorable body. So you would always approve any signers, any changes to signers, any addition. So because our former comptroller has resigned and left the city, we have an interim comptroller. And so for that person to be added, or update the signer cards so that person can sign checks, for example, that would need your approval. Otherwise, Madam Clerk would end up signing all the checks.
So that's
Council
Council
Chair?
Chair.
Councilwoman. Councilman Ahmad.
I mean, I think she answered, thank you, Councilwoman. I think you answered my question. So basically, Madam Clerk, she signs all the checks now since we don't have a comptroller?
The way the charter reads, it's the mayor, the comptroller, or the clerk, and the treasurer.
So you can sign checks too?
That is correct. That's the requirement per charter.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
it's 3 signatures.
Council Chair?
Yep.
Obviously, if we add anybody else on besides the ones that you named, that would be a violation of the charter, and we all took an oath to follow that charter. So at this time, do you feel comfortable with the changes that are being requested to add extra people that do not comply with the charter rules?
Well, in my opinion, we have to follow the charter, but I'm not quite sure if I'm understanding where it's a violation, because this is the person is the interim comptroller. So you, as a council body, can choose, right? To say yay or nay. It's your option. What I do is I administrate whatever you legislate. I've said that before. Now, if you're asking me if I'm comfortable, I have to be professional and work with, whoever is appointed. It cannot be my personal feelings or anything else, right?
Okay.
I have to be professional.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye. Those opposed? No.
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 It's unanimous. Let's still put it on a roll call. Thank you.
Hassan Ahmad,
No.
Nancy Breyer,
No.
Denise Malinowski Maxwell,
No.
Hassan Saab,
No.
Robert Constant,
No.
and Mo Baydun.
No.
Motion is defeated.
Treasurer explains new bank account, Scouts of America Police Explorer.
Council Chair,
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council authorize Treasurer Hicks Clayton to open a new bank account at the request of the Police Department for the Scouts of America Explorer Program as outlined in 9B.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion?
Council Chair?
Yep.
I do want to thank the treasurer for working on this. I want to thank the police department and the chief. This is an amazing program. They've been long waiting for this. Many cities have it, and I'm glad that we're going to have this program in the city of Dearborn Heights. Thank you, Council Chair.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, motion carries. Next up is 9C, Treasurer Hicks Clayton Debt Management Policy.
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab.
Move that Dearborn Heights City Council receive, note, and file the City of Dearborn Heights debt management policy as outlined in 9C.
Support.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. Any discussion? I'm going to ask, hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Those opposed, the ayes have it, motion carries. Also, Angela Venegas' birthday. Happy birthday, Angela.
Oh, are we singing again?
No, we're not going to sing happy birthday. Next up is Comptroller Shepherd Fire Department Budget Amendment.
Council Chair, I move that the Dearborn Heights, you said yes?
Yeah, Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the amendments to the fire department budget. These amendments have a net zero effect on the fund balance, as these are movements between line items within the department as outlined in 9D.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilwoman Breyer. Any discussion?
Did we have anything?
Is the fire chief here?
Good evening, council. I'm Deputy Fire Chief Vaskin Badlow, so.
How you doing?
Very good, how are you?
Good to see you.
Do we
Can
have
you answer
questions
some of
on
this for us here?
Pardon me?
Can you answer some of this for me real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's saying here that this is, the amendment is moving from line item to line item with a zero effect to the fund balance. Can you tell me from where we're removing and where we're adding? And is there anything being removed from any other department outside of the fire department?
No, this is all within the fire department, and it's going to be within the current budget, as you see on the left column there. And we worked together, the administration, to move funding over from those into other line items, so nothing more than that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, motion carries. Next up, 9E, DPW Director Dancy, DPW Highway Budget Amendment.
Council Chair,
Councilman?
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the following amendment to the DPW highway budget as outlined in 9E.
Thank you. Can I get a second? No second? Dead on arrival. So next up, Fire Chief Brogan, Fire Department Budget Amendment. Next up,
Chair.
9F. Yep,
You want me to read the whole thing?
you could just read the 9F, up to 9F.
Okay. That the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the following amendment to the fire department budget as outlined in 9F.
Second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Breyer, seconded by Councilman Constant. I do want to just point out a couple of things here. A lot of these things here are requests based on the city council. So if you look at the line items where it's per CBA motion 2438, the budget accounted for 10% increase, but it was actually 17% increase. Secondly, we all said we want to see a cleanup for 2 fire stations in gear racks. And number 3, where injuries were slower than anticipated, which was the cause for a lot of the higher of the overtime. So, I mean, the reality is, certain things on here have to be approved. I know, we all agree to be fiscally responsible and say we don't want to use the fund balance, which I wholeheartedly agree. You can't say we can't be cheerleaders on the sideline saying we want to make sure that the safety and well-being of the firefighters is our number one priority, but when it comes time to pay for it, we're like, hold up. What I can tell you is that was never in the budget, and so we were always going to go to fund balance for our firefighters. So for me, I'm okay with saying that I'm willing to support this because we know it's going to the health and safety and the well-being of our firefighters.
Council Chair,
Yes, Councilman.
I respect that the cleanup for the fire station, that's fine.
And the raises, which we all voted yes on.
Correct. But the raises came after the fact of the budget. It was after the budget.
Well, the
And
budget.
the administration, the mayor's office, or city attorney, nobody's been transparent.
No, they haven't.
Nobody has. There's millions of dollars missing in the city. And for us to approve one department, not approve the other, it's not saying that you're on the sideline as a cheerleader. It's across the board. We're not gonna borrow money from a rainy day fund, and we're not gonna raise taxes on residents. And for that, and for that, until we get actual numbers in the city where money is or where money went, I fully support our first responders, our fire, our police, and DPW. I can't support anything coming out of fund balance because we know the mismanagement in the city and we have no idea where the money went. By us putting Band-Aids and throwing to cover overtime, things are getting paid right now. Nobody's getting shorted, but again, every year we have 2 new controllers. Every year we have a new HR. You can't get an email response from the city regarding budgets. There's millions of dollars missing in the city. And bluntly, there's millions missing. Where did it go? Where is it? It's not the firefighters that are taking it, nor the police department, nor DPW. Where is it? Well, for us to approve something, or one department and not the other,
Again, it's not that we're choosing the firefighters over any other department. I want to make it clear. What we're saying here was, we said we want environmental cleanup for 2 fire stations and a gear rack, which we said, hey, people are living in mold. Go out and fix it. They paid for it. They fixed it. We got a budget for that. And that, so like, if that had to come out of fund balance, what I'm saying, not everybody, me, because we never budgeted for it. I'm okay saying, bless you, I'm okay to say that is okay to come from fund balance.
we can, Council Chair.
As far, and is, just one more thing, Councilman, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. And the 10% increase, which, again, this was the administration under budgeting on something. The truth is, no, they were approved a 17% increase, not a 10%. So we're short on 7%.
I believe they should get a 30% increase. I'm not against that. What I'm saying is that we're spending nearly $800,000 a year on legal opinions. We have an attorney that can't even write an opinion. So why don't we cut that and give that to the firefighters?
We can.
Then let's do that. We'll cut that budget out completely and give it to the firefighters.
Is that a resolution coming from you next week?
I will put a resolution today. Suspend the rules. I'll put a resolution forward right now.
Council Chair.
Speak facts.
Thank you, Council Chair. I do respect where you're coming from, but I do agree with Councilman Saab. We have to be fair across the board. I know you mentioned about the environmental cleanup, but this is like 22,000. Now we're talking here, almost 700,000.
683,000.
Yeah, almost 700,000, and with 7% that the administration messed up on, I mean, that's a big thing. I mean, like they messed up, I think they need to work on something to fix their mistake. To tap into the fund balance, I mean, we had that discussion with the treasurer last time, and I think by June, I don't think we're gonna even have that money. So, I mean, I don't think even we have it right now, to be honest with you. According to the chart that we were given last time, I think by May 1st probably will be, I mean, I hope not, but I mean, very close, very close.
Ask the mayor's office.
So like I think Councilman Saab said, I think we do have to be fair across the board with every.
I'm okay with amending it then and at least saying for the $22,000.
I'm okay with that.
Because, look, at the end of the day, you have to pay certain things. And we knew that was coming from the fund balance.
I mean, myself, I did approve that, and I'm okay to amend this to just make.
Or what we could do is we can wait till next week and Councilman Saab can bring forward his resolution.
I'm gonna bring $800,000 forward from legal opinions that we're paying for every year. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Can I say something? to this?
No, you can't.
That
I didn't ask for a
something
response.
stupid,
Point of order.
that really is unfounded, and it has no intelligence behind it. Before you start accusing
I'm gonna let
people,
you speak. I'm gonna let you
please.
speak.
Did I
Thank
name
you,
you by
Council
name?
Chair.
Did I name you by
Did you say
name?
anything of any intelligence?
Did I? Did I name you by name?
Ever.
Point of
Did I
order,
name you
please.
by
Did I name
name?
you?
Councilman, please, point of order.
Nobody asked you to talk.
Use your name.
No, and I didn't use yours either. You're not worth me naming
You're
you.
not worth it either.
Councilman,
This guy's a clown.
Councilman, please.
Point of order. I just want you to know something. Let me tell you something, and this is me starting to realizing. They want a response out of you like this.
It's,
Hang on.
but I'm not talking to him.
I know.
But you're giving him the room to talk. I never asked him for a response, Council Chair.
Calm down for a second. Don't respond. That's it. All you gotta do.
It's a Celsius he's
Point of order,
drinking.
move on. That's it.
He doesn't know what point of order is.
Okay, we have a motion on the table for 9F. All in favor, please state aye. Those opposed?
No.
The ayes- No.
Ready?
Yeah, let's do roll call.
Council
Hassan
Chair?
Saab?
We
Hassan
got a
Saab.
motion.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Let me do it?
Yeah, go
Hassan Saab.
No.
Denise Malinowski Maxwell.
No.
Nancy Breyer.
Leaning, but no.
Hassan Ahmad.
No.
Robert Constant.
No.
Moby Dun.
No.
Motion defeated.
Thank you. 9G, IT Director Cooper and Police Chief Haydar, purchase and payment of dispatch equipment.
Council Chair.
Councilman,
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the purchase and payment of the following required equipment for police vehicles and dispatch to remain CJIS compliant. 35 Dell Rugged Pro 14 laptops, 35 DS Dell docks, 35 Brothers Rugged printers, 35 Brother USB cables, Brother car adapters, Brothers Premier Service Plan, Brothers Active Docking Mount Station with power and USB, Honeywell Scanner Kit, and a Dell Optiplex Tower Plus. In addition, authorize the mayor and comptroller or clerk to sign the necessary warrants and the treasurer to issue payment from federal forfeiture funds, GL account number 265-330-831-265 as outlined in 9G.
Support.
motion made by Councilman Constant, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. Any discussion?
From federal forfeiture funds.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do we have 130,000 plus in the
Yes.
forfeiture fund?
We have about $2 million in the fund.
Actually, we have 25 million.
No,
No, we only budgeted that much. We have almost $2.2 million in the budget.
there's 3 accounts though, Council Chair.
And that's what they had in here in the
I know, that's all that was budgeted for that year, so that's only gave you that. Right?
This, I think that's this is the balance, isn't the balance?
For this year.
Each month, I send you the actual balances for the bank accounts, beginning and ending. I sent that, and that is correct.
About 2.2 million?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, I just went through this discussion. I called her.
Council Chair, just to
Yeah.
the treasurer, how many forfeiture fund accounts is there? One?
There's 3 different accounts.
Different accounts, there's federal public areas.
And all of them have funds in them, or,
Yes, yeah, and they're all on the report that I send you every month.
okay.
Sorry, Councilor Chair, can you say that again? How did you, about the money?
So if there's $2.2 million.
Okay.
We don't say we have $2.2 million, we're going to use it on this year. We say of the $2.2 million, we're going to use $300,000 for this fiscal year. And so we budget $300,000 and you can only use it with that because you're budgeting for it through that fiscal year.
Okay.
So if you want to now tap back into the more of that money, you'd have to do an amendment to the budget and transfer it
So what
over.
was the number for this year? 2.2?
No, that's what we have in total.
Physical actual money, that's cash.
Okay, what was the budget for this year to
I
use?
don't have that number in front of me, that comptroller.
So what's that 25 coming from?
I'm sorry?
Forfeiture fund, from what we budgeted.
As long as the general ledger is not exhausted, that isn't a problem.
So that's 25 million.
Not 25 million.
No, I think it's, what did you ask for, I'm sorry?
So this is written wrong then.
What are you asking for? I
It's
believe
roughly like 140,000.
No, I mean, I have it on the backup here where it says that account has that much money in it.
No, that.
25
account does not
million?
have that much.
General ledger, remember you're talking two different languages. You're talking general ledger account, you're talking bank account.
I
Bank
see.
account is what I deal in,
$2.2 million is put aside for how much we can use in forfeiture fund. The general ledger is 25 million. They took that money say they took 300,000 and they added it into the general ledger. And now they're using, obviously it's being tracked through the general ledger. The general ledger has 25 million.
Okay, that's what threw me off. I think because you asked last time, like every account to have the balance, whatever is left.
Yes, and I provide, remember.
Yeah, so this wasn't provided here then.
What's in the bank account, physical, actual money available, where general ledger is what the budget is approved as and what is being spent, it tracks that. You know, if it's approved 300,000, you spend 100,000, that's 200,000 left, that's the general ledger, right?
But we don't have no $25 million left in the general ledger, do we? We don't have $25 million left in.
No, I don't think so.
No.
But I believe the general ledger is fine on this side.
Okay.
Council Chair?
Yeah.
I mean, since we have the IT director, we keep getting disconnected for some reason. I have to keep refreshing my.
Me too.
It's Civic Plus issue. It's not us. It's the Civic Plus. I apologize.
All right, thank you.
But it works on the phones, it works fine.
No, my phone was the worst.
Yeah, they've put out a status that they're having issues. They're working on it.
Okay, Council Chair, so we're going back to the computers. This is the same one we approved last time to be tested?
That was that test one. This now is to outfit all of our vehicles, and actually the 5 computers are for the dispatch station, in there. This is a complete refresh for all the police vehicles and dispatch, which is required by September. We have to have these in place.
So I take it you were happy with the test results after testing those computers?
Yep. I made one slight change in the configuration of the computer, and I worked with Dell to make sure we got what we needed.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Council Chair, I mean, just I have a request. I mean, if we can, like next time when we, ask for different stuff, can we have add a total at the end, see exactly how much is the total amount for everything? That would be, instead of us adding all the stuff up.
I'll be honest, I thought I did. I know Mariana helped at the very end of this with this. I don't know why the total in there.
Yeah, it doesn't show here. Thank you, though.
So I apologize.
No problem. Thank you, Director. I'm all set.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, motion carries.
Thank you.
All right. IT Director Cooper, budget amendment related to increased cost of telecommunications landlines.
Time out, Council Chair, I'm sorry. I don't,
We can't talk on it until we read a motion, or it's dead on arrival?
I'm just, is this the correct chart for it?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's all about ordinances.
I know. We'll have the discussion in a second.
Okay.
It's not going through the fund balance. They're taking the money away from different departments. 9H,
Council Chair,
Councilman Constant.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the following budget amendments to cover the current cost increase of telecommunication landlines as outlined in 9H.
Support.
Motion made by Councilman Constant, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. Any discussion? I got a quick one here. I see here ordinance salary. So one ordinance officer salary, one ordinance officer salary, ordinance enforcement, GIS, fringe benefits from the building and engineering. And all this we're doing, which it's thinking outside of the box. What's our plan when we want to pay for an ordinance officer that wants to get hired right now, right before the holiday? We're just going to have blight?
There was still in the budget for 2 ordinance officers in there. By taking one and only having 2 more, basically 2 months left of the year, what is left in there potentially could cover the ordinance officer.
But what if ordinance needs a part-time employee? What if ordinance needs, this is the season right now. We're about to enter into a season where the ordinance department is going to need this money. I get it, and telecommunication needs this money. But it's great to have all this communication in the world, but what are we gonna do when we see blight across the entire city?
I'll say my defense, again, we left the money in there. I know he worked with his part-time budget last time. We don't make these payments for telecommunications. We lose internet and we're not gonna be able to serve, we're not gonna be able to take phone calls, we're not gonna be able to pay bills or anything because we are gonna lose internet. Police, fire buildings are all going to lose connections.
Is any money being used from fund balance?
Nope, not at all, sir. We sat down, you asked us to look at, being creative where we can try to grab a little bit of money here and there, and we did what you asked. Trust me, this eats at me having to do this.
What is the city-owned property?
That was a line, that's a budget line item. When I sat down at the mayor's office, they said that was in their budget. I'll be honest, I don't know exactly what that fund is used for.
Yeah. So okay.
Council Chair. Same thing here, Director, like we don't have a total
It's actually, if you look at the very last one, where it says the Do It telecommunications, and mine just crashed. Let me refresh mine. 212,464.79 is what all would get put into there to cover.
So this is the total for all the
The
numbers?
requested amount. When you add it all up, it comes up to 212.
Yep.
So that remaining balance after amendment,
When all said and done, I'll literally have like maybe about $50 in that account once we finish, once my projected payments.
How come we
for the
do this
rest
for
of
the
year.
fire department?
I'm not the fire department.
so how come here it says 67,000 remaining balance? After?
Because we still got the May and June to pay for.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay.
Any other discussions? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Police Chief Hadar, 2024 Justice Assistance Grant.
Council Chair.
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council authorize the acceptance of the 2024 Justice Assistant Grant in the amount of $18,038, which was previously approved by City Council Motion 24-480, and authorize the mayor to sign the grant agreement as outlined in 9-I.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, motion carries. Next up, we have Parks and Recreation Director Z, Parks and Recreation Budget Amendment.
Council Chair.
Councilman Constant.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the following amendment to the Parks and Recreation budget as outlined in 9J.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Constant, seconded by Councilwoman Breyer. Any discussion? Hearing none.
Council Chair, if, Director, that's, where it says city-owned property, is that, what account is that again?
Same account that we just took the IT money out of.
How much do we have in that? Seems
It
like.
shows, I think, current budget is $75,000. If you look at this past previous amendments we brought in, you see a big reduction in the amount of money we need to now like $18,451. I can tell you I'm relentless in finding things that need to be corrected and wrong, and it goes on and on and on, just like we have with all of those reimbursements. By the end of the week, this week, we've been exhausted ourselves. We'll add $200,000 to that reimbursement account. That'll bring it up to $300,000 in 2 weeks. And in our reimbursement account, it will have a balance of $466,000 when all the checks arrive. That was just for us doing paperwork. But I mean, everything I'm cleaning up, there's more than I can describe. And the sign, that's just another one off my list. And getting just old bills paid, things are cleared out. We're looking at July to start this all out and get it all cleared up.
Council Chair, I think it's still the same dilemma here. We're tapping into the fund balance with this one too, so.
I understand that when these checks arrive for our reimbursements, since they are so unfortunately old, that they're not actually credited to that account and they could be used if we want to. So out of that $100,000, we could probably find $18,000 and clear this up and make sure we get our grant so we don't lose it. And put this one behind us so I can just check that off the list and we'll just keep going.
Are you saying when you use 18,000 instead, is all you're asking for?
18,451. The rest is covered by the grant.
So you're talking the 63,000 and the 44,000, this is covered by the grant?
The 44,000 is the,
Covered by the grant.
624, yeah. is by the
So
park.
what about the capital outlay, the first one? What's that for?
I think that's the total of the whole project.
Between the two of them?
Yes.
Council Chair?
Yes, Councilwoman.
My question is, Wayne County reimbursement will cover part of marquee expenses.
Mhm.
How much will they not be covering?
The 18,451.
That's what,
Council Chair. We're also in litigation regarding this site.
thank you.
And we are working on that solution, and we hope to have something shortly, so that will not be factored in.
Can you do me a
Council
favor?
Chair.
Maybe next week you can bring it back to us with just the $18,000 so that we can put this behind us.
Yeah, that was our plan. We were hoping to have it for tonight, but it just didn't happen.
That's okay.
All right, thank
Council
you.
Chair, before he leaves, Council Chair, with your permission, I think we do have to address that lawsuit that's pending because I believe it affects a number of grant money or monies from Wayne County. And it's in danger of costing us.
Wayne County?
A number of, he could speak, our DPW director.
Let's get in contact if you need to. I can
Parks.
I can get us in contact with the Parks Director there, I know him very well.
Okay.
Just to say that, hey, like, give us some time and we're figuring things out.
True, it's just, we're down to we've asked for a second extension. We're down to the line on this. We don't know if they'll give an extension, so you'll have to approve an extension, then it'll have to go to the Wayne County Commission to get approved, and it's going to be a tight schedule for all of us to get all of that done. So that's why I'm trying to run and get this all cleaned up as much as we can, and we can see where we're at the next council meeting.
We'll talk.
All right, thank you.
Any other discussion?
So we're referring it back.
But anything that comes through the fund balance is very hard for this council to say yes. Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Are we referring it back or just?
I thought we were referring it back, to bring it back.
Yeah, we
in
have
2
to
weeks.
amend the motion.
Would you like, Councilman Constant, would you like to amend your motion to refer back to administration?
Yes.
Okay, can I get a second on that, Councilwoman Breyer?
I'll second it.
All in favor to refer back to administration, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Police Chief Hadar, Police Department Budget Amendment.
Council Chair,
Councilwoman,
I'd like to make a motion that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the following amendments to the Police Department budget to correct monies erroneously posted to general ledger accounts and authorize the comptroller to amend the budget's general ledger accounts accordingly as outlined in 9K. From the state training funds, 101-300-962.010 in the amount of $30,500 to MCOLES CPE funds, 101-000-636.016. From city training funds, 101-300-962-000 in the amount of $12,179.87, which would go to state training funds, 101-300-962-010, and from city training funds, 101-300. Yeah, but what's M Coils?
Keep going. I'll shut it.
Okay, Michigan something or other. From city training funds, 101-300-962.000 in the amount of $61,000 to MCOL's CPE funds, 101-000-636.016.
Support.
motion made by Councilwoman Breyer, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any discussion on that?
Council Chair?
Yeah, well, real quick, if I may, Councilman. I thank Police Chief Hadar for putting this forward and putting the account numbers and putting the amount saying it's coming from the state training fund to MCO CPE fund. But I also requested like a balance. Okay, this is the balance that we have that we're using, how much is remaining, and this is the balance that's going into that has this amount. And the only person that did this was Director of our library, Director McCaffrey. He's the only one that did that. It's like.
We can't deal with Council Chair until it's corrected.
Yeah, maybe
No,
we
but like-
should be consistent.
Hang on, guys. It's just, why? Why does it always gotta be a bicker back and forth? This is such an easy yes. Because like nobody likes to follow direction and they just wanna slap anything at the council. We have to come back to this. So yeah, I mean, to me, I'd like to see this tabled.
Okay.
Until you can give us the right information, tell us the balance, how much you're taking things out. I mean, we already stripped the ordinance department out of their budget. That's absolutely terrible. Terrible. But when you see former Councilman Muscat, or Angela Venegas, or Vince Dabrowski up here screaming and yelling at you guys, just remember, we cut that budget. So, I mean, we didn't use fund balance. Thank you. I mean, to me, it's like, if I don't know what the balance is, I don't know what's coming out, what's coming in, I can't verify it with the Treasurer's Department, I don't want to see it. For me, I'm a no vote, but there's a motion on the table here.
So shall I amend it to say it's tabled until we have balances?
We can refer it back to administration, but I want to hear from
Refer
Councilman
back.
Saab, because he was
No,
next.
that's it. Wanted it for, also.
Okay, so Councilwoman Breyer, would you like to refer this back to administration?
Yes, please.
Councilman Constant, will you second that?
Yes.
All in favor, please state aye to refer back to
Aye.
administration.
Aye.
All state aye?
Yes.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. All state aye?
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you. And motion is referred
We're not a
back.
singing group, so.
Police Chief Haidar, Police Department overtime budget amendment.
Council Chair,
Councilwoman Breyer,
I'll make the motion that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the following amendment to the Police Department overtime budget as outlined in 9L.
Second.
Council Chair.
motion made by Councilwoman Breyer, seconded by Councilman Constant. The left side's pretty popular today. Any discussion?
Yes, Council Chair, can we refer this, again, this is coming out of fund balance.
Yeah.
We don't show a current budget.
This is a request.
Mm-hmm.
The current budget is 874,000. They're requesting an additional 400,000.
That's correct. Balance.
Correct.
Are we referring it back?
No, I'd rather take this for a vote.
I mean, the right thing to do, sir, would be to refer back to administration, say, find the money elsewhere like you did and everything else. Rather than
So
denying.
said.
So I'd like to refer this if that's okay. Councilwoman
Yes.
Breyer, would you like to?
Yes.
Motion made by Councilwoman Breyer to refer this. Councilman Constant, do you second?
Yes.
To refer this back to administration, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Council Chair Baydun, Warren Valley Golf Course parking lot sublease agreement, refer this back to a study session.
Right.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Baydun, seconded by Councilman Ahmad, to refer back to a study session regarding the parking lot. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. George, let's get together on that tomorrow. Actually, Thursday, because tomorrow we got a budget and my head's gonna be spinning. Thank you. Next up, petition from citizens, ordinance and resolutions, communications. New business here is Irwin's Auto Sale Inc.
Council Chair.
Councilman?
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the business license renewal for Irwin's Auto Sales, Inc. at 23706 Van Born, as outlined in 13A.
Support.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. Any
Council Chair.
discussion?
Yes, I spoke with ordinance today and coming about, I think they cleaned up and we got an email.
Can we have you come up to the
Podium, please?
Yeah, we got with them last week, and they told me to move some cars. They had to be able to get a fire truck, an ambulance, police car in the lot. They removed cars, they striped the lot, they opened up both gates, so now you can get in and out both sides. We told them if it stays like this, we'll continue to let them get their business license. If we have any changes, we'll come back to you, and we'll go a different route. But right now, they did a lot in the last week, which I was pretty surprised.
Thank you.
Dr. Lefebvre, and I'm going to ask you, and you're a diplomatic guy, please stay on top of this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we don't want to only have this being done, right around renewal time.
I actually went to Sod's Auto Lot today as well. They had a couple of things that we discussed with the prior director that they weren't doing, and they took care of that right away this morning as well. So I'm saying.
And we don't want to just discuss with them. Ticket them.
Yep.
Put them in their pockets. And if it happens again, we're shutting you down, we're stripping you in the way. Dearborn Heights has been too nice, and you know what happens when you're nice? You're getting stepped on. Like we're constantly getting stepped on by residents because we're allowing people to just run over all of our ordinances, run through our neighborhoods, blow through stop signs, reckless drive. We're getting stepped on because of things like this.
Well, we're at record tickets right now, so this month alone, we're gonna succeed last year's. We're on a roll, I mean, we're not letting up, so.
Yeah, we need to have stronger enforcements.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just actually want to give
Kudos.
to the director here. I called in last week regarding a couple new properties over getting built and the disaster that was in front of them. And I see today I went by there was garbage bags.
Yeah, he came by the front desk. I told him the bricks all have to be cleaned up as well. He's waiting for his contractor to come back to do that. They're not done. So we're gonna stay on top of that as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your works.
Thank you. Any other discussion? I'd like to hear from Councilman Wenzel if he doesn't mind. I don't know if.
He's the king of Dearborn. I don't think he had the chance to
If
inspect
it's not
this time.
Inspector Tom, then it's not been done right. So let's hear from him. He's calling, asking his wife to tone it down or his kids something.
Exactly.
Are you still at Big Boys?
Nope.
He's at an undisclosed location.
Yeah, I found the Wi-Fi.
Oh, nice. Okay, go ahead, Councilman.
Well, let's just hope that they keep this up. Just not for, just for a couple of weeks or a month. We have to stay on top of them. And, the upcoming, license renewal for the STIP post, I checked them out. Very fine understanding, Stamp Smith. And, so let's just hope that the ordinance stays on top of this and keep that established, Irwin's, in compliance with the ordinance. I'm getting an echo, that's why I'm having a hard time talking. But, I'll have a comment during the comment section.
All right. Let's hopefully there's not an echo anymore because you're echoing with us.
Council Chair,
Right.
Thank you. Yep.
could I ask when their license finishes? When does it
You renew every year.
cancel?
It doesn't cancel. You renew every year.
Right,
Can it
okay.
be revoked?
Yeah, every business gets a 1-year renewal license. In the June.
We can attach a thing with a recheck of it in a month or so?
I mean, that would be on his, that's his
Okay,
rule.
we'll stay on top of it. Guarantee
Okay.
that.
All
There you
right.
go. Any other discussion?
Council Chair,
Yes, sir.
can the license be revoked after it's been renewed?
Can it be revoked after it's been renewed?
Oh,
Yeah.
I believe
they're
so,
not
yeah.
in compliance.
If they're not compliant, they can.
They can be taken to
Right,
court for.
yeah.
There's a court process and whatnot, but yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up is the business license renewal for the state post number 232 American Legion there.
Council Chair?
Council Chair.
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the business license renewal for state post number 232, American Legion at 23850 Military as outlined in 13-B.
Second.
Second.
Motion made by, there were so many seconds, by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by
Councilwoman.
Councilwoman Breyer.
Councilwoman Breyer. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye. Councilman Wenzel gives it the thumbs up. All right, so it means he inspected it. Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I know I said that twice, forgive me. This guy's throwing me off. Keep him out, keep him muted. All right, next up, we have comments from council members. I'm gonna have Councilman Wenzel go first since he's been away with his family on vacation. I don't want to keep him any longer in this meeting that he doesn't have to be, and I know he said he had a quick announcement, so. Councilman, give your thoughts.
Well, thank you. One thing I observed by listening to these meetings is, it reaffirms what a lot of residents say about our meetings. They're pretty, I don't want to say comical, but, they're pretty abnormal with all the interruptions going on. When you're listening to them and not there, it's a whole different, take on the meetings. But the IT situation, I think if we neglected to do the right thing, any contract we sign should be carried on through the entire budget year. We shouldn't have, a certain part of the year, 2 or 3 months left in the budget and get a price increase. You know, we bailed out the IT department and awarding that money and losing our ordinance money. Any contract we sign should have a, you know, some kind of language in there that says this contract is good through the budget year. You know, and, because, you know, what's gonna make this from happening in every contract we sign? Oh, there's a price increase. You know, it should be guaranteed no price increase for the entire budget year. I hate to see that, you know how passionate I am about the ordinance department, and to lose a chance of getting any ordinance officers for the next 2 or 3 months really hit home with me. I was very saddened about that.
I want you to know, Councilman, I don't mean to cut you off, but that money was either gonna go into the general fund and we weren't gonna know where it was going, because come this June, we're gonna have to re-budget for those positions again. So what all they were gonna do was take that money, put it in the general fund, and we have no idea what happened to it. So at least at this point, we kinda know where it went. I mean, that was my thought on why I said yes. And to be able to tell you that they're gonna hire somebody in 2 months, they haven't hired anybody in 10 months.
Well, like you said, it's the lawn season, we usually hire part-time. The guy, I think he's coming back, we won't have any money for him.
Well, he said he does.
We do.
Director Lafif says he does have for the part-time.
Right, well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, we should, you know, stipulate in our contract with all of our vendors that guarantee no price increases through the term of our budget year. Because that's, I mean, that's just a bad thing. And I also want to say, you know, we have our family fun night coming up at Annapolis High School, our second annual on May 10th. Check it out on Facebook. You see, we're looking for sponsors, donations of baked goods and raffle items and volunteers. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman.
Council, is it all council members? Council Chair?
Yep.
Thank you, Council Chair. My sincere condolences to all humanity for losing Pope Francis. May his legacy of compassion, humility, and advocacy for the poor and for peace to inspire us all. His message of love and forgiveness will live on. May God bless him and grant him eternal peace. And I do want to thank you, Council Chair, for mentioning the passing of my uncle.
I think Angela Venegas, she reminded me.
Thank you, Angela. I was lucky enough that I had spent the last 2 days of his life next to his hospital bedside. Well, he passed away Sunday morning. He was surrounded by his loving kids and grandkids. Though illness took a toll on his body and himself, I know he's now in a better place. May he rest in peace and be united with his beloved wife and parents. May cherished memories of him bring comfort and joy to our family. And I do thank you for your prayers, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Councilman Ahmad. Anyone else?
Council Chair?
Councilwoman?
Yeah, I just became aware of this today, and since we have both Director Dancy here and Director Bosniak here, back parking lot, the lights are not working. Who controls them? It's not only the parking lot, but over by the park. So I wasn't sure. It's a little of both.
That's a DTE issue. We contacted them 100 times.
Oh, you're kidding.
I bet you Councilman Ahmad Councilman Saab will get it done in a day.
I hope we do.
All right.
We'll have it taken care of for you tomorrow.
His second girlfriend works for DTE. Just kidding. His wife's going to be me.
I also have a question for Roger.
Go ahead.
Roger, I'm looking at the agenda here, and there is a review summary of recording conversation between me and others. Who is providing you with these recordings?
I didn't put that in the agenda.
It's in the agenda. It's being
It may be,
charged
but
$525 for 3 hours worth of listening. And did I agree to be recorded that you know of?
You want me to answer it, or you want to keep a public talk?
I think there's a pending litigation here.
No, I'm the other party, and I already checked with an attorney. I can discuss it. I will.
I don't think this is the place to do it. You can.
Well, it's on the agenda.
Well,
If
the
it wasn't on the
agenda's
agenda,
over.
well, you went past it quite quickly, but I guess it will come out in the end. We'll figure it out, and I'll let everybody know when I find out.
I just want you to know, I wasn't even here for agenda approval. I was outside.
I know.
Yeah, so I didn't go through it at all.
You went too quick.
Yeah, so I want you to, you can.
No. It was-
You can apologize for that.
I will apologize.
Yeah, I had nothing to do with
I
it.
didn't realize you okay. He's always in
Yeah.
Sure.
But anything else?
Well, no, I just figured since it was submitted and Roger Farina is on most of this billing, that he would be aware of what that was, because it had to have
Send an
been
email.
provided through
Send him an
City
email.
Hall.
Yeah, why don't you send me an email?
I will.
I can respond to your attorney And I can reiterate all the stuff you didn't follow when the contract.
Hey,
when you
again,
were
I don't want to go
asked
too much into this, Roger. Come on, come on.
I'm just saying,
Come on,
I don't
come on.
understand what
Well,
you're
you know
talking
what? You're
about.
getting yourself in trouble.
But
I
just
got
send it
proof
to
the
us
other
and
way.
we'll respond
Come
to
on,
your
come on, Roger, point of order. Let's go. This is in court. It does
Brought
not
it
have
up.
to be brought up in Dearborn Heights. Thank you very much. Councilman Saab.
A few things. Dr. Dancy, I'll get those polls taken care of. I don't have a girlfriend at DT. That's one of my best friend that works there, and he's also the account manager. So just to put that on the record.
Especially for the wife.
Well, my wife is an attorney, so.
Yeah, he's about to get sued. Better pray you sign a prenup.
Secondly, just, summer, spring is around the corner, speeders. You have kids at home that have cars, please tell them to slow down. And our police department is going to be rigorous out there this spring and summer, ticketing people and impounding cars. Please, if you have a kid, child, teenager that's driving a car, tell them to slow down in neighborhoods and on main roads. Accidents are piling up now. Stop sign means stop. And then secondly, cut your lawns, clean your front of your flower beds. Pick up whatever's in the street, clean the basins in front of your house. Just do some maintenance around the house, clean up the neighborhood. That's it from me.
Quickly. Yeah, go ahead.
One comment. Last Saturday, Mike Mackey put together a fantastic thing for the autistic children and adults. It was very well attended, and he did it at his own expense.
Quickly, I want to first and foremost say, hope everybody had an amazing, happy Easter. It was a time I hope that you guys were able to enjoy with your families. I know the importance of Easter and the religious beliefs and coming together. It reminds me a lot of Eid and really at the end of Ramadan, how me and my family come together. And I know this happens within a lot of Christian homes, and I love those moments. There's a lot of gratitude, there's a lot of uplifting, there's a lot of empowerment, and I hope you guys are all able to enjoy that at home, here in residence, to the council members. I also want to say that this meeting went by extremely fast, and seeing with the length of this meeting, having a presentation, it's 8:15 and we're almost out of here. This is great, but I really want to thank those at home. I want to thank the residents and a lot that, show up here every single meeting. I mean, you guys sit through 4 or 5 hour meetings, and I want to thank you guys for that. Someone that's watching, I was like, come on, Mo, hurry up, speed it up. Well, I just wanted to thank you guys for that and kind of echo Councilman Saab a little bit. Weather's getting nice, 74, almost 80 degrees on Thursday. My kids are going to be out playing on the sidewalk. Be careful when you're driving. Let's do a 3-second stop. I asked that our police officers to patrol our neighborhoods. I know we have sergeants that are in here. This tend to work a lot of the night shift, but even at night.
He gets the job done.
Let's drive through it, speak with your colleagues. I hope the chief's watching this at home. Let's get back into our neighborhoods. Let's hold people accountable for the 3-second rule. Let's make sure that the reckless driving can stop. And to the Department of Public Works, Director Dancy, we have a lot of residents that are upset about these potholes. And I know you have limited resources and funds due to, the cutting of overtime. And that's not your fault, because you weren't here when things were being taken advantage of with overtime. And now you're kind of at a standstill. But whatever you can do to help the residents with these potholes, it's very bad. I mean, I can tell you today, I had a resident call me and said that their association is going to go buy their own cold patch. And they're going to figure it out themselves. And I said, hold up. And I'm actually not even supposed to say this on the record, but screw it, I am anyways. Probably going to get in trouble. I'm actually going to get in a lot of trouble for what I'm going to announce. But I spoke to Wayne County, and they said they're going to go down Ann Arbor Trail, and they're going to go down Cherry Hill, and they're going to fix every single pothole for us at no cost. I asked them to go through our neighborhoods, and they said, can you imagine somebody takes a picture of how it's going to look to the media? Show some favoritism to Dearborn Heights. And I said, well, it's the least you can do. So I'm still negotiating that. But the good news is all of Ann Arbor Trail, all of Cherry Hill is about to be resurfaced and patched up by Wayne County at no cost to us. But that does not fix.
Not resurfaced.
Well, they're going to get some spots resurfaced, they said, as well. Not the entire street, but there's going to be, they said that there are some areas, and you're going to see them as early as tomorrow. So maybe this can take some leeway off of these big streets. We can enter into some neighborhoods, and some neighborhoods, they need a complete repair. So hopefully we can figure that out as an administration.
Council Chair.
Constant.
Thank you, and I too want to wish, hope everyone had a happy and blessed Easter. I want us all to remember Pope Francis and his words of peace and unity and protecting our children and our civilians in war. Our condolences to Councilman Hassan Ahmad for the loss of his uncle. We'll pray for his soul. And please, everybody, let's remember to slow down as the weather's getting warm. The children dart out into the street, and we don't want to lose any lives. Please be careful. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, we'll move it up to announcements.
Council Chair?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. The first announcement, the Ecorse Creek meeting is at 6 o'clock tomorrow night at the usual location at 3335 South Beach Daily. But even more importantly, on Thursday, let's see, what's the date on Thursday? Today's the 22nd, the 24th. We will have our own director, Mr. Dancy, who will come and be our main speaker on the 24th of this month. Next month, we will have our state rep, Aaron Burns, as a speaker. And the following month, our assessor hopes to be a speaker at our meeting. So I just thought I'd put that out there for everybody. That's 7 o'clock on the fourth Thursday of the month.
Thank you, Council Chair. I have an announcement from the assessor's office. The transfer affidavit that everybody has to file once they buy a property, the law has changed. For the primary resident, nothing has changed. It's $5 after the 45 days. It's a late fee. If you don't file within 45 days, every day is a $5 fee, up to $200. But the law has changed for commercial and non-primary residents. It's $5 every day, and it's jumped from $1,000 to up to $4,000. So if you skip it for a good year, you're going to be paying about $4,000 in late fees. So make sure if you buy any properties, now it's statewide. It's not just the city of Dearborn Heights. It's the state has changed the law. So if you buy any properties, make sure you file the transfer affidavit. Thank you, Council Chair.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Seeing none, we'll go to public comments. Or do you have an announcement?
No, it's a comment, but as a city treasurer, I live on Gully Road in Dearborn Heights. First of all, I want to thank the city council for, you guys are up there, you're standing by what you should, the charter, and making hard decisions that need to be made. So I want to commend you all for doing that. I do want to encourage the administration to take a look for the funds for the fire department's budget amendments. But I also want to encourage them to make sure they talk to the department heads that those budget amendments would impact. I will tell you that when I get checks to me, I review general ledgers before I ever sign a check to make sure it's not exhausted, because that's what the charter requires. But I will tell you, I see some general ledgers that are pretty healthy, okay? We are going into the last 2 months of the fiscal year. I think take a look and see what you can do with that, and see if it can help out our other departments that need it based on whatever reasons. I think that can be done. So I encourage the administration to do that. I do not recommend that the city council or any of us violate the fund balance policy, please. Okay? That's submitted with the Michigan State Department of Treasury. Please do not do that. The last thing I have real quick is I want to just clarify, I keep hearing the words missing funds, but I want to say it's not missing money. Okay? We're talking about the budget and general ledgers, and what I think part of the problem is, it's been stated before, that in this budget, there's been an overstated revenue that has not necessarily been received, but is being spent because it was budgeted like it is there. That is part of the problem, but let's be very careful. It's not money, missing funds. It's a problem within that budget itself. But I do understand our new interim controller has a plan that he's working through, and I hope that everybody continues to work together. Thank you.
Council Chair, Madam Treasurer, before you leave, can you mention again the state policy regarding the fund balance?
Well, you guys had stated it really well last time, so I should let you mention it.
No, go ahead.
So the city's required to have a fund balance policy that the council voted on and approved that has been submitted with Michigan Department of Treasury. And I believe, is it 8%? I want to say.
8%.
8%, that's right. So that's 8% of your fund balance, right? Needs to be remaining at the end of the fiscal year. At the end of this would be June 30th. At any time, you should always be maintaining that. Again, filed with Michigan Department of Treasury, but I am fearful if we keep doing budget amendments and pulling from the fund balance, we're going to be in a problem, right? We're going to either, we will violate the fund balance policy, if not exhaust it, because again, the problem is, have we received all of the revenue that was anticipated? Even from grants. Grants aren't right away. Some of those grants are reimbursement grants. You got to pay up front and then you get your money back. But by the way, when you submit the paperwork to get your money back, it could take up to a year before you get it. It may not even be this fiscal year. We've seen that happen. So I'd be very cautious of that, by the way, for council, during this budget discussion. Let's watch that and make sure that doesn't happen again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other announcements?
We're on public comments.
I mean, sorry, any other public comments? I'm ready for this one. Please state your name, city you reside in, and the street that you live on.
Angela Venegas, Dwight Street, Dearborn Heights,
Last
Michigan.
time you got to speak here at 8:22, and never. Put a light out.
Don't jinx us.
Quiet. I just want to say I'm a little bit mad as hell tonight about everything. Our kids' safety, not just around Riverside School, but Margaret now has been over a year, almost 2 years now. Money that's been promised to her to make the school zone safe. And nobody, not one of you has an answer to what's happened to that money or what's going on.
They spent it on lunch.
Yeah, I probably.
Honestly, I don't know.
And I want to read what this man said about living here in Dearborn Heights. When I moved in here almost 25 years ago, I was proud to say I lived here. Not so much anymore. Just walking in to our city hall, it's disgusting. The grass isn't cut right, not edged. There's leaves laying all over the front door. The front mat still looks like the rats have eaten it. Can we not even afford a new mat for our door as you enter this building? It's disgusting. I came here to a council meeting 8 years ago. Denise was on city council about a sidewalk on Warren Avenue that I helped a lady in a wheelchair pick her up, me and my husband, while we were riding our bikes. Guess what, Mo? That sidewalk still hasn't been fixed. I have no faith in this city at all anymore. It's bad. And now we have a police department. The kids are speeding like crazy, and I'm not saying our police officers are great, but you guys got to do something. We have to get grants. We have to do something. We as citizens aren't protected anymore. The streets aren't safe. The speeding, the kids, everything. The garbage, everything. I'm tired of picking up garbage. I'm tired of finding a gun on Warren Avenue. We just had that Airbnb incident on Plainfield, and supposedly there was a gun that nobody could find. How do we know it's not sitting on Warren Avenue? I guess we won't know until I go clean it again. This is disgusting. Things need to get better, and I hope our mayor, where the hell is he at? 6 months he hasn't shown up at a meeting. It's disgusting. And it's time maybe to get the media involved or something to get something done around here.
Too many.
No yelling, I just got yelled at. Please no more yelling.
Rose Trepepi, Tulane Street, Dearborn Heights. At one point, I don't know how many months ago, they had said there was a budget to repave from Telegraph to Grinley Park on Annapolis.
Correct.
Does anybody still know anything about that? Is it going to happen?
This is supposed to be this spring, summer.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because here we are, we beat up, and there's 3 things I want in this department, in this city. I don't care about anything else but these 3 things: police, fire, and DPW. We're beating them up, we beat the shit out of them, and nothing gets done. It's not fair for them.
This has never happened before, by the way. Up
No.
until
Last couple years.
Point of order, please.
They're incompetent.
Who said point of order to me?
No, not to you.
Friend over there. Because I've been here through 9 mayors. I'm looking for number 10. I was personally friends with 6 of them. They would come to my house and I'd go to their house. In fact, one of them I still meet up with his son. I've never seen anything like this in any place. And like Bob Constance knows, I have a cousin that was mayor in California. He turned that city around so fast, and it's still going good, but he died. I would like to bring him here to show somebody something. Anyway, that's all I'd like to know is my street's still going to be paved?
Yes, Council Chair, just to echo to that, I remember putting in weekly $5,000, I believe it was, a week after they paved it, the curbs and dirt would have to be filled up right away, not wait a month. And they agreed to that contract. So believe me, I'll be on it too, once they start it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Stop beating up my boys.
Thank you, Rose.
I'm just making sure nobody was interrupting you, that's all. Just to be clear.
I think so. I kind of missed my spot, so I'm going to, during public comments, because I was looking for the exact wording. Now that we have candidates not always confirmed yet, this is just a friendly reminder that council has a policy that electioneering by candidates for office is prohibited at council meetings. Just a friendly reminder for those that know, it's just to reiterate, and for those that don't know, now you do.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
I'm not going to be long because Mo stared at me the entire time the last time. So, no, I just want to say,
Your name, please.
Najah Janoon, Whitefield
Address.
Street, Dearborn Heights. I have felt the same frustrations as some other residents, but I'm hopeful. So I'm hopeful. I see a light at the end of the tunnel.
We are too.
So,
Thank you, trustee.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was still a beat up.
Margaret King, Mayfair Street, Dearborn Heights. I don't know if any of you guys saw in Dearborn what the mayor, Abdullah, has done with the safety.
What hasn't he done?
I'll echo that. But the speed bumps, the stop signs, the crosswalks around the school zones, that's what I want, and that's what my city deserves, and that's what Joey deserves.
Love you too. Can you say it up here, please?
No, you don't really have to get up there. All right, anyone else? Anybody on Zoom? Seeing none?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion, second.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries.
8:29.